San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs beat the Memphis Grizzlies last night, 123-98. 7 Spurs scored in double figures. That, coupled with Oklahoma City's loss to the Celtics, the Spurs, well, they've moved within 2 games of first place in the Western Conference. And according to Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, LSU cornerback Mansour Delane is in Frisco today. He's there for a top 30 visit with the Dallas Cowboys.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Thursday, a beautiful Thursday in San Antonio, which is also opening day of Major League Baseball. I know there was a game last night, but all the other games are today. So for me, this is opening day. I hope you're having a good one, however you're doing it, whatever you're doing. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. That guy's Jason Minix.
Happy opening day to you, sir.
Hey, same to you.
It's 2:01, and your Cardinals have been eliminated from postseason contention.
They probably have. I'm not expecting a lot. That's why I'm wearing the shirt today. Just to because it's it's a special day. It's everybody has hope before you get that first L.
Well, and again, it's March. This thing will go on forever, as it always does. But there is something special about watching baseball on opening day. Now, the Texas Rangers, they play at 3:15. The Astros also play. They start at 3:10, so we're working on opening day.
Cardinals are 3:15.
Nobody gives a damn.
Well,
but there was a time where you would take the day off.
Yes.
For opening day.
Yes.
Of course, there was a time that we would be preempted for opening day. But you can listen to the Rangers down the hall on 94.5 or AM 1250.
You don't want to do that.
No.
We'll keep you updated.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is something special. Netflix is getting hammered last night for their broadcast.
I didn't see any of it, Jason, but when I got up this morning and started reading the reviews, they're just getting hammered for their coverage last night and the way that they did things and didn't do things. And so I'm kind of sorry I missed it.
I saw the Yankees broadcast, so I didn't see anything about what was going on Netflix, and I didn't watch much of it. But I did see one of the coolest things. The San Francisco Giants during the national anthem, sung by a sailor, by the way, that smoke flag thing that they did, how the hell did they pull that off?
I have no idea.
Have you seen video of it?
I have not.
You're under a rock. Like all of a sudden, like a flag appears in the outfield. At first, I thought it was some cool magic TV stuff, and then it turned into this smoke thing. It was cool as hell. That was the best part of last night, by the way.
Well, I didn't watch any of it. I watched the Spurs take on a high school team last night.
They were junior high, man.
Well, maybe so. I'm not sure, but that's what I watched. At
Freshman
least
B?
The first half of it. What an embarrassment for the NBA. And I mean that in all sincerity. Look, and I'm not blaming the Spurs. Spurs, you go up against who you go up against, and they did what they needed to do. But what an embarrassment for the NBA. That was just awful to watch. It was awful.
It was, 30-11 at one point.
Well, it was like 26-6 at one point. I mean, it was just, it was awful.
The NBA, we're not that far removed from being on the wrong end of that. And I know they've got to do something because it's getting worse and worse because that wasn't competitive. And at one point, you and I were texting last night that the Spurs were bored, and then Memphis got back into it. And I say got back into it.
13, I think.
I mean, they could at least see the brake lights on the Spurs. They were so far behind. I mean, because early on they were getting lapped. And then not that you ever thought the Grizzlies would catch up, but they did make it interesting. But
for a minute.
Well, again, I think the Spurs are bored. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. And, our poll question yesterday, does this easy schedule affect the San Antonio Spurs heading into the postseason? I said yes. Everybody else said no. I think it was like almost 80-20 on the poll yesterday.
Yeah.
But this is why. The idea that they won't get tested. Oklahoma City lost last night. All right, that helps the Spurs.
Sure.
But Oklahoma City has a lot of playoff-type games before the actual playoffs begin. The Spurs have a whole bunch of cupcakes, and they're not even the good cupcakes from like Gigi's. These are like the crap 3-day-old cupcakes that somebody left in the break room.
No, exactly, because they've got Milwaukee next, and they're tanking. They've got the Bulls after that. They're tanking. It's awful. So my question to you today was, and I mean this in all sincerity, does this light schedule, because everybody's talking about Wemby's numbers last night, and they were impressive. But again, the competition he was up against was men against boys. And so does that hurt his MVP chances?
No, because he's still going to put up numbers, and he's still putting up highlight reel stuff. And I'll just say, if you watch Get Up this morning, Greeny's got a man crush on Wemby. He's giddy about it. And then the other highlight shows. Did you see what Wemby did last night? And I didn't see this part of the game live, but some dude dunked on Wemby. Mm-hmm. And on the very next play, Wemby said, "Hold my beer," and dunked on him.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching at that point, so I didn't see that part of it. But as long as Wemby is continuing to do that, in the 5 blocks in the first half.
Again, though, I'm just saying the competition level is awful.
But nobody gets 5 blocks against those guys. And he did it in a half. So I don't know that it hurts him. And I will say, over the last 24, 48 hours, more people saying today and yesterday, if San Antonio catches OKC and finishes with the 1 seed, there is no doubt Vic is the MVP. And
I agree with that.
They're only 2 games back now. So, no, I don't think that it hurts his chances because I think it affects the Spurs' readiness, but I don't think individually it hurts his chances of winning the MVP award.
Now, I agree with you. If they catch Oklahoma City and they end up being the number 1 seed, Wemby has to be the MVP, and I think he would be voted that. And I think that may be what it comes down to. Although, did you see Luka Doncic last night? Put up some really gaudy numbers for the Lakers. So, he's trying to make a case. And what's interesting about all of this, Jason, Luka or SGA, neither one of those guys were asked about make your case for MVP.
Not one of them.
Not one of them.
Not one of them.
I wonder why.
Were asked. Well, SGA lost.
I don't care.
But not only were they not asked to give me 3 reasons why, get in your campaign stump speech mode, neither one of them were asked about Wemby's comments, which I find surprising.
Yeah.
And I know I didn't see it. We had Edwin go through all the press conferences from yesterday, and the only guy asked about Wemby's comments was Draymond Green. Now, I wonder why. I think it's because reporters know they would get non-answers from Luka and non-answers from SGA, and you would get exactly what you got from Draymond Green. Good reporters know who's going to give you good answers that are going to help tell the story.
Yeah, for the most part, you're right.
But I'm surprised. Guy that used to work here now runs the Sports Animal in Oklahoma City, and they're the Thunder official station. And I texted him this morning, nobody? Pre-game? Post-game? Any of your Oklahoma City reporters, any of your guys? And nobody asked him. I get after the game because they lost, but before the game, shoot around. Nobody has asked SGA about Wemby's comments? Nope.
I'm really surprised that nobody has, and we'll see. And just to be fair, Luka put up those numbers last night against Indiana, and they're another team that is in the hole and in the tank mode. So just to be fair, I will say that. Now, SGA, decent game, but they lose to Boston last night. Look, this is a race now, especially with Oklahoma City's got a gauntlet to finish the season.
Yep.
The Spurs, we've talked about it. It's a pretty easy schedule for the most part. So there's a really good chance the Spurs can catch OKC down the stretch. And obviously, they've got the tiebreaker. So they don't necessarily have to beat them. They just have to get even with them.
You know, it is amazing how things can change over time. And I see one of the comments on our YouTube page, and you can also comment on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search out San Antonio Sports Star, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A couple weeks ago, Oklahoma City had the cupcakes, and we had our gauntlet. And that's true.
That's true.
Everybody's going to have their tougher parts and easier parts of the schedule. But my point is, you're coming down the stretch when you need to be playing your best basketball. You're getting tuned up for the playoffs. The Spurs aren't getting those tune-ups. I hope over the next 2 days, because this is a rare stretch where they've got a couple of days between games, I hope their practices are more competitive than what we saw last night in Memphis.
Well, I tell you, to me, that was just, and again, not blaming the Spurs. Spurs are going to play whoever's in front of them. There's nothing you can do about that or what they're doing. You can only take care of your own business. This is not a knock on the Spurs. What it is a knock on the NBA. This is ridiculous what happens here. And I know, if it's your team tanking, you're all for it. And I've never been for it, and it just seems to be getting worse. I mean, it honestly does. That Memphis team last night, it was just an embarrassment, a complete embarrassment for the NBA. It was awful, and I just don't understand. And I felt bad for the people that actually were in the seats. There weren't a whole lot, mind you. It certainly wasn't a full stadium that I could see anyway. And it's just an embarrassment. And Adam Silver should be embarrassed. He really should be. It's horrible.
Well, Adam was talking about tanking yesterday.
He was?
He was.
Well, I guess we'll hear from him.
We can.
All right. Well, let's take a break first, and then we'll hear from him. What do you say?
Sure.
Adam Silver on what he's going to do about tanking. It's awful. You should be embarrassed, Mr. Silver. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
You bet I'm worth more.
We completely agree. At GiveMeTheVIN.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more for good cars at Give Me the VIN, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if we don't beat a deal from Carvana or CarMax, we'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off at HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4 exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. 4 Sweet 16 games down, 4 to come, and a full weekend ahead of us, Rob.
The NBA is going to get busy as well, and the Spurs going to make up ground. We'll talk about that. And, oh, by the way, lots of baseball. How'd the Rangers and Astros do? Hey, it's Friday. Get here early. The party, it starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I don't know who would have thunk it. I certainly, and it amazes me every day when I wake up and see what the Spurs are doing. Now just 2 games out of the 1 seed in the Western Conference. It's unbelievable what they've done this year, and it truly is impressive, without a doubt.
You know, the idea of this turnaround and how unexpected it was. Spurs PR wizard Jordan Howenstein
Love that
tweeted
guy.
last night, San Antonio Spurs are the first team to get 55 wins the next season after having less than 35 wins since the 2007 Boston Celtics. And that team added a Kevin Garnett and a Ray Allen. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Now, the Spurs added a De'Aaron Fox at the deadline last year. And that's it. I mean, I know they drafted a Harper, but it's not like they had, all right, let's go get a KG, let's go get a Ray Allen type of offseason. Now, it's hard to think what this team could have been like at the end of last year because De'Aaron Fox only got to play 6 games with Wemby before Wemby got shut down because of the blood clots right after the All-Star break. So we have no idea what last year could have ended like, but that's a pretty incredible turnaround and quite the little stat nugget from Jordan Howenstein when you think about how rare of a turnaround the San Antonio Spurs are having this year.
It's just impressive. And again, I'm watching the game last night. While I'm embarrassed for Memphis and the NBA, you look at what the Spurs do and how they play. Defensively, they're just on another planet. Obviously Wemby is Wemby, but you got Steph Castle who's doing it as well, and they're just and they're moving the basketball. There was one sequence, there were a couple of them actually, but one in particular where I think, Jason, there were 8 passes around the horn before a shot was taken, and it's just they're sharing the basketball. And again, but I don't want to take anything away from the Spurs. And I don't mean to do that, but the level of competition last night was just horrible.
Well, it was, but again, they lose last night or down the stretch to one of these crappy teams. we're going to come in and, well, they needed a bad loss, helps them refocus. and, there's some truth to that. But the fact that, as Steph Council said, they're maintaining their energy and focus regardless of who's in the jerseys across from them.
I feel like our energy's been high for, I don't want to say the whole season, but I feel like it has been pretty high the whole season. But, as of late, like the last 2-3 months, I feel like we've been playing our best basketball. And I think we all enjoy just being around each other on and off the court, so it makes playing the game a lot easier.
And that's huge, I think. And I think that's something that is overlooked a lot. I mean, this team does have chemistry together, and they sincerely look like they all care about each other and want everybody on the team to do well. And I think that's huge and certainly underrated in a lot of respects. But this team has that chemistry, and they just appreciate one another.
Well, and then, as Wemby pointed out the other night in his MVP campaign speech, that 50% of the game is defense. And while Wemby is by far the best defensive player on the planet, that Steph Council guy is pretty good too. And he talked about just the improvements this team has made on that end of the court.
I think our team defense is great. Obviously, the head of the snake being big makes it a lot easier for us to be aggressive and pick up full court. But I think everybody's individual defense has taken a step since last year at least, and I feel like me and Vic have been the most beneficial out of that.
Well, and they have. And then look, Steph Castle's been playing great defense all year. I mean, this guy really has. He's improved. And you talk about adding players when you talked about the Celtics of 07. With the growth of Steph Castle. And look, I don't think we've seen even the tip of the iceberg with that young man. We always talk about Wemby and how much better he's going to get. I'm looking at Steph Castle and going, this guy could be a bona fide superstar in his own right. Who knows about Dylan Harper and where he may go. And so I think just specifically on Castle, I think the sky's the limit for this young man. Not only can he score, to me, I mean, he plays as good a defense as anybody in the league.
Well, when you have a defensive player like Wemby, when you got a player like Wemby on your team, everybody's going to follow suit. A lot easier to get the other guys defensive-minded. You go back to the Big 3 days, Bruce Bowen was that lockdown defender type.
He was.
And that's what he was. They were always a good defensive team, but Bruce Bowen was Bruce Bowen. This team's got a bunch of guys like that, and I think they feed off of the defensive energy from Wemby. And they know while Wemby gets a ton of blocks, how many other shots does he alter or shots don't get taken because he's in the area? And a guy like Steph Castle playing at his level of defense just locks it down. I see a comment on YouTube, and I don't know what the guys in the morning said. They say, comment says, your morning crew says Castle's not first team all defense in the NBA.
Look, I'd have to look.
Yeah, well, that's it. Off the top of my head, I don't know that I would say he's going to be first team all defense.
Eventually, I think he will be.
But also, I think that he'll be penalized because he's got the benefit of playing next to Vic. Is he going to be on one of the three all defensive teams? Yes. First team? Off the top of my head, I'm not going to be all homer and say, yeah, the guys in the morning are wrong, because I would – stuff like that you have to seriously go look at. Is he a hell of a defensive player? Yes. And you could stop there. Will he make one of the all-defensive teams? Yes. First team, with a guy like Vic, I think he's going to – well, he benefits from. Although when Vic was out, that still was a really good defensive team. I could make the argument, but I would have to seriously go look at all the other candidates there before I'd say, yeah, he's first team at that position.
I'd like to say that too, and I couldn't say for sure that he is, but what I do know, and you mentioned Bruce Bowen, Steph Castle has assumed that role.
Yep.
And he's a hell of a lot better offensive player than Bruce was. And so, but you watch Steph Castle, he guards the other team's best player. And that's what Bruce Bowen did. That's what Steph Castle is doing. Wemby is back there to defend the rim and block shots and do that. Castle's out there on the perimeter guarding the other team's best player. And to me, that's impressive, and he's doing a hell of a job.
And again, I mean, this team is solid. But even Mitch Johnson says the impact that Wemby has on the defensive side just sets the tone for everything this team does.
I thought he was on it tonight in terms of recognizing when he was able to put himself as the low man and put himself in the rim, and did a good job communicating out to his teammates so they could anticipate that and then wheel around and cover the perimeter. And I thought we were able to be connected, which allowed us to still be organized deeper in the clock. And obviously, as the clock goes down, it takes away options where teams can't continue to play side to side. And he did a good job of that and put himself in a lot of advantageous positions based on what he did earlier in the clock.
I mean, what are you going to say about Wemby? He's going to be All Defensive Player of the Year. He will be a first NBA All-Defensive guy. I mean, there's no question about that. All of those things are going to happen for Wemby. He's got the size. He's got the movement, the agility, all of that stuff that you just don't see. And it does. It affects the other team's way that they play. And whether they're driving to the basket or whatever they're doing, Wemby's always on their mind because he has to be, or you're going to get it swatted right back in your face. So, yeah, look, he's a special player. There's no question about that. And again, as I said the other day, his trophy case is going to be filled with all kinds of different stuff by the time his career is over.
Now, obviously, Wemby's is. Now, we talked a lot about the other day that Wemby should not have to campaign for himself to be MVP. Let other people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mitch Johnson last night campaigning for one Steph Castle for all defensive team.
He guards primary players every night from all various types, on and off the ball. The only thing that's really similar with the guys that he guards is they're always a primary option. And I think he has grown tremendously in his discipline of being physical without fouling. I think he's grown off the ball, and I think on the basketball, he's as good as there is in the league. And I think his ability to stay connected to people without fouling, to be physical and wear on guys over time, to get through screens and just provide resistance is as good as I've seen.
How do you argue with that? I mean, honestly,
all right, the guy first team all defense. I changed my mind.
He is a lockdown guy. Now, is it AC Carrillo? Has just listed a bunch of guys that are in consideration, obviously. Wemby, Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo, Derek White. We forget about him. Man, I wish that dude was still a Spur. But,
but who wouldn't be?
I digress. Still, there are a lot of good defensive players in there. But look, if you go size for size, and I'm not talking about Wemby or Gobert or even Chet Holmgren for that matter, but you go size for size, I would put Steph Castle up against anybody. Anybody. That guy is a lockdown defender, pure and simple. And we've only touched the surface, man. This guy is going to get better. And he wants to get better defensively. That's the amazing thing.
The amazing part is he'll get better. Wemby can get better. Harper's going to – I mean, so many of these guys aren't even close to what their ceiling could be. And, again, in a game like last night against a crappy opponent, they're all going to look really, really good. And that is a problem for the NBA. Is it getting to the point where the league will have to do something about tanking?
Yes.
Adam Silver was asked about it and talked about that very question just yesterday.
The competition committee started earlier this year re-examining the whole approach to how the draft lottery works. There have been lots of different ideas out there over the years, not just necessarily changing the draft lottery odds yet once again, but looking at whether there's a better system here to try to align incentives. The point about this year, when you look at totality of the circumstances, I mean, of course, I'm paying attention to what's happening, and the perception is you have a very deep draft class this year, a perception that the next 2 years' draft classes aren't as good. There's no doubt that's affecting the behavior of our teams. But at the end of the day, I think all the teams need to step back, the ownership of those teams, and just as a reminder that we're all in this together, we want to have fair competition, we want to have fair systems, and to keep an eye on the fans, most importantly, and their expectation that we're going to be putting the best product forward.
And again, I don't even think Adam Silver knows what to do or how to fix it. But the NBA is worse than any other sport. And I know there's tanking that goes on in football. I know there's tanking that goes on in other sports. But the NBA is absolutely and by far the worst. And it's just been lived with for years because, well, hell, it's going to help our team get better. And that's just the way that it is. And whatever team you're rooting for, if they're tanking, you're all for it. And it hurts the product. And this, please don't take this as I'm taking up for Oklahoma City. But a game like last night, the Spurs going up against a Memphis Grizzlies team, honestly, in the competitive mold of things, how is that fair for anybody? You know the Spurs are going to win that game. There was no question about it. We talked about it yesterday.
Question was, would they cover?
And they did. And I'm just saying there was no question. There's no question they're going to beat Milwaukee on Saturday. There's no question because Milwaukee is tanking. There's no question they'll beat the Bulls after that, because the Bulls are tanking. And so to me, that's a problem in the competitive nature of the sport itself, and that's where it gets dangerous.
Well, one, the current system allows this. You get rewarded for sucking.
Mm-hmm.
Yet at the same time, you look at how Oklahoma City rebuilt and got to the finals. You look at how San Antonio has rebuilt, and now they're the 2 seed, maybe the 1 seed, and they look like they're going to be set up for years. So if you, as a fan base, as an organization, can tolerate 3, 4, 5 years of being in the lottery to rebuild, to get good, that's the formula. And you've got 2 teams right now at the top of the Western Conference that are doing what every team that's getting complained about right now, that's what they're doing. You know, Memphis tanking. And you know what? In Memphis, they're probably sitting around a bar somewhere going, well, you know, this sucks, but if we can do what Oklahoma City did, if we can do what San Antonio did, then this is all going to be worth it. Because you think about the last 7 years as Spurs fans where they haven't been in the playoffs and winning the lottery. And, you know, it feels like everybody that I talked to was with us at the Rue Pub when the Spurs won the lottery. You know, you'd have felt like there were 30,000 people in the Rue Pub. It was insane that night because as soon as the Spurs won that lottery, the reaction inside the Rue Pub and all throughout San Antonio is we're back. It's not instant. It wasn't a microwave, but you knew there was hope on the way. And that's what all these teams that are tanking are chasing. And you got a couple of examples that say if you do it right, here's the end result. So you've got more teams now, it feels like, trying to tank to do what Oklahoma City has done, to do what the San Antonio Spurs are in the middle of doing it. And I phrase it that way because Oklahoma City has already turned years of tanking into a title.
Well, they didn't draft SGA. I mean, they got him. And so I'm just saying their best player was not a lottery pick.
Sure.
And so
but all those lottery picks allowed them to go make that trade. It gave them the capital to go do that.
But again, it's going to hurt the league more than it's going to help it. Yeah, you can tank and you can get better as an individual franchise, but what does it do to the league? And that's the problem, and that's what concerns me more so than anything. I mean, again, the Spurs, they're going to be double-digit favorites over Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
They are, and they're going to win. They're going to be double-digit favorites over Chicago, and they're going to win. And it's just it doesn't make any sense for a league to have teams that are just saying we throw up the white flag at the end of the season and just come in here and kick our ass. Because how does that help anybody?
Well, see, that's the thing is I'm with you. It sucks as a product. It truly does. For the advertisers, for the fans buying tickets, that part of it sucks. But the lottery is proven to work in turning franchises around. SGA, he was the Clippers lottery pick, and then he got traded away because Oklahoma City had so many draft picks. Remember all the shows that we were doing when you first started here about all the draft picks that Brian Wright had on the shelf? What was he going to do with them? Because in Oklahoma City, the formula they used, so it is a proven system as far as turning suckage into playoff success. It's the suckage part sucks. Opening day of Major League Baseball, as I'm sitting here in my Astros shirt, there were 3 straight years of suckage. Man, you knew on opening day you were going to lose 100 games. Poor Bo Porter was not going to get to take advantage of managing through all those bad times, but it turned into a couple of World Series. Some legit, some could argue the other way. I don't give a damn. I got a trophy and a T-shirt. But the system allowed them to turn things around, and it takes years of bad. I don't know what the NBA does. I don't know what the right answer is other than not allowing teams to be in the lottery or at least with the top 5 pick year in and year out. This year feels worse, and I think the commissioner explained it well. This draft class is deep. Not every draft class is this deep, so you've got more teams that are trying to get into that lottery because of this particular draft class.
Look, very true, but not all these players are gonna work out, and there's been a lot of lottery picks that suck.
Yeah,
and they just don't work out. So you still have to find the right guys, and that's why I think, as much as I've criticized Brian Wright, I mean that dude needs to get a pat on the back.
Executive of the year.
I mean, obviously Wemby was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer, but the next year with the Steph Castle pick at number 4, and then Dylan Harper was pretty much a no-brainer too. You talk about the Rupub, Minix, the Wemby game. How about last year when the Spurs damn near got Cooper flagged?
Yeah.
It was that damn close.
Well, and again, I mean, we were at the Rupub for that. It was still exciting because while you missed out on Cooper Flag, the question was, well, you're going to take Dylan Harper. We're pretty guard heavy. What do you do with it? But still that number 2 pick, the excitement is there. So now that the Spurs are back, I don't care if they change the rules, but at the same time, the rules, it is a system that works in the end, but getting to it, when you see how the sausage is made, it's gross.
It's awful.
Right? I mean, nobody wants to see a bunch of games like what we saw last night, and because of the way the schedule works out, the Spurs have, 6-7 games like that in their final 10, and that's just how the schedule played out.
Yeah, but you can't blame the Spurs for that. But look, as a commissioner of the NBA, of the total NBA, Adam Silver's got to do something about it because the noise is getting louder and louder and louder. And it is, and he can't ignore it anymore. Regardless of how teams can improve or whatever they can do, it's got to stop. There's got to be a change because the screams are getting louder. And now you have gambling involved. Can you imagine? I mean, if I'm a DraftKings or a whatever, an MGM type, I'm thinking, dude, you got to do something about this. This is not good for us. I mean, the Spurs were an easy winner last night. They could have named their score last night. So something's got to change, and obviously I'm not smart enough to know exactly what that is, but I'm not the commissioner of the NBA either, so they got to figure this thing out. Let's talk a little football because there was a report going around that the Dallas Cowboys could actually have a chance at a Myles Garrett.
Stop it.
Are you kidding me? Let's talk about it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward, beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
If you've been thinking about buying a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Looking for an import? We have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. For your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Oh, my goodness. Sounds like a heck of a promotion those fellas in the morning have going on. A double dinger.
I thought I heard AJ call it the double dong.
He did. The double dong.
Well, at least that's one of our friends. Who is it? 12-year-old said they sounded like 12-year-olds talking about double dongs.
Well,
like,
they always do.
Well, we all do.
We all do. And that's fine.
Funnier, I just wish Big Voice Guy would have recorded it as the double donger.
Oh, I like dinger. Dinger's good. I don't know. Has a home run ever been called a dong?
No.
I mean, seriously.
I've never heard.
I can't remember
a play-by-play guy or a Sports Center anchor doing highlights calling it a dong.
Aaron Judge with a dong to left.
It'd be long, sir. A long dong.
Long duck dong.
Yeah. Well, you didn't hear that last night. Aaron Judge was awful at the plate.
He was awful.
Happy opening day, everybody.
Boy, talk about awful today. Paul Skeens knocked out in the first inning by the Mets today.
Yeah.
Horrible. That dude, he's got Livy on the mind.
Well,
I don't know where that came from, but
speaking of double dongs.
Oh, my goodness. We will talk some baseball because a lot of things getting started here pretty soon, including the Astros and the Rangers. So a little baseball, but we got talk football. A report out today that I saw that the Cowboys could actually let me rephrase this, that the Cleveland Browns manipulated Myles Garrett's contract.
They didn't manipulate it.
Well, kind of.
No,
they changed it.
They made some adjustments to his contract,
and
which happens.
It made people think that, well, they're doing this so they can trade the guy.
Now, Field Yates, first to report it. And they changed some language in his contract. Does that make it more tradable? Then you go, wasn't it the Cleveland Browns that suggested, can we trade out draft picks for 5 years? Well,
yes.
I mean, because with Myles Garrett, what could you get? And how many years out do you think you could go if you were to do that? Now, Adam Schefter on with McAfee, quick to point out, I've known this for a couple days. Somebody called me Tuesday night. I called Cleveland. They 100% said they would not be trading Myles Garrett, that they were doing these adjustments to his contract to free up salary cap space.
I mean, if I'm Cleveland, why would you trade Myles Garrett? And you wouldn't unless you just,
But because he wants out, because they're not going to win.
I'm not sure he wants out. Myles Garrett, he's a Cleveland dude now.
I don't know about that. He's a rich dude.
Well, of course.
You remember we were sitting down in New Orleans on Super Bowl Radio Row 2 years ago, and he had demanded his trade. He had wrote the beautiful little social media post about Cleveland. It's been fun, but I'm about championships.
Yeah.
Until, of course, they gave him a boatload of money. And another awful year. At some point, does that guy want to win? They signed him to that contract. They've got a couple of really bad contracts, but they took what was an untradeable contract and made it tradable with the adjustments. Field Yates is right. With the maneuvers that they did, whether Myles Garrett is on the trade block or not, whether Cleveland wants to trade him or not, they made that contract tradable, where before it wasn't. Both Schefter and Field Yates could be right. The adjustments make it tradable. Field Yates didn't report that Myles Garrett is now on the market. He reported that the adjustments made to the contract make that contract very tradable.
And everybody ran with it. Like, okay, Myles Garrett is on the trade block now.
Well, why would you make those adjustments?
Well, exactly. Well, they claim for salary cap reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Myles Garrett is a Dallas guy. Right? And then as soon as you read the report, then you're starting to see, wow, Myles Garrett was seen in Frisco with his realtor. And so,
we just got to quit that.
Which is not true, by the way.
It might be.
As far as
he
I
could be
know.
buying property anywhere.
Well, I guess he could be. He is a rich dude. I don't think Cleveland's going to trade him. I mean, somebody would have to just overwhelm them with the package. But you talk about making a defense 100% better. With just one guy?
Well, again, Jerry and Steven keep telling us there's a plan, right?
Sure.
And that they're not done. They missed out on Max Crosby. What would they be willing to get for a Myles Garrett?
Well,
I mean, if they truly, now this is total spaghetti on the wall, because I don't see it happening. But if they were all in on Max Crosby, and you can define whatever all in is, they weren't willing to give up 2 1s for Max Crosby. Would you give up 2 1s for Myles Garrett? Yes.
Well, yeah.
The answer is yes.
Well, sure, but I would have given up 2 firsts for Max Crosby. And Max Crosby's a couple of years younger than Myles Garrett. I would have done that, but Jerry didn't want to do that with Max Crosby. So. But yes, with Myles Garrett, absolutely.
I mean, if Jerry is truly committed to winning a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott as his quarterback, they've got to do more than just make the defense a little bit better. And they missed out on some free agents, linebacker position this year. At least they were trying, as opposed to just sitting back and letting the first week of free agency go by.
Mm-hmm.
They were in on the Max Crosby trade. They went as far as they thought they could go or what their value was. And again, your value is only what somebody is willing to give you. And they had a pretty high value, but not to what the asking price was for the Raiders. Again, they were in on that. Give them credit. They were trying, and they had a walkaway price, and they didn't get a deal done. And you got to respect somebody that is that close.
I'm still not convinced that Max Crosby is off the trade block.
I'm kind of with you there.
I think that could still be done
Although I doubt it would be to Dallas, considering it was the Cowboys doctor that was the one that failed him on the physical and had Baltimore undo a trade.
Yeah, but 3 months from now or 2 months from now, that might all change.
Well, I mean, and that is a possibility. But could you imagine the conspiracy theories if that were to go down that way? The investigation. But I do wonder, though, if Jerry is making a splash to that nature, could Myles Garrett be that guy?
I think you got to make a phone call anyway, don't you?
Yeah,
if you're Jerry, and not just Jerry, how about just about any other team in the NFL?
I mean, that's if you're doing your job, you at least have to know, right? If you're a general manager, you at least need to know what is the asking price. Is this doable? Is this not doable? I mean, but it is interesting that the way Cleveland redid the contract today, that made what was an untradeable contract tradable. At the same time, it was Cleveland that suggested in their rules committee, let's trade out picks for 5 years. Because you wonder, do they want 3 ones over the next 3 or 4? I mean, what would a Myles Garrett cost? We know what a Micah Parsons cost, right? So you're starting with 2 first-round picks.
Right.
So, Max Crosby, that was the starting price for Max Crosby, right?
Yep.
Right? You've set the market with the Micah Parsons deal. Myles Garrett, you don't have to pay him on top of that, so your pick compensation coming, but you don't have to give him a new contract on top of that. So pick compensation, is it 2? Is it 3? Teams that don't want to get – you're Cleveland, you're going to need picks for the next 100 years, so how far out can you go? Just all signs point to, I wonder what they're up to behind the scenes. Today, Adam Schefter reported that when he talked to the Browns, they are 100% not trading Myles Garrett.
Well, that's the kiss
today.
of death.
That's today.
That's the kiss of death when somebody says that. We're 100% not trading him, and then next week he's gone. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But keep in mind, the Cleveland Browns have Deshaun Watson coming back this year.
Stop.
That's going to save the day, is it not?
They have a Shedeur Sanders.
The Cowboys have got their 30 visits or however that works, and before the draft. But one guy they're bringing in is a guy by the name of Omar Cooper Jr. Now, what's interesting about this, Jason, is the fact that this is the second wide receiver that they've brought in for a visit.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you about George Pickens?
George, sign a deal. Your replacement could be in the building.
Or, George, you're not meant to be in Dallas long term. I don't know. It's just food for thought. That's all I'm saying. And the great Micah Parsons is going to miss the first 3 games of the season. The great Micah Parsons, best player in the National Football League.
I think he's a bum.
Wow. So do I, Aaron. We finally agree on something, buddy.
Stop it.
We finally agree on something. Well, it's interesting, certainly, and it's something we'll continue to talk about and look at and see what happens, if anything, with the Dallas Cowboys, with the draft coming up here in a little over a month, or about a month now,
about
I guess.
A month away.
Yeah,
yep.
About a month away. That is outstanding. Have you ever heard of an Alpine divorce?
No.
Huh. Neither had I until today. We'll explain what an Alpine divorce is when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Obviously love talking football, love watching football, all kinds of football. And this Sunday, the San Antonio Gunslingers have their home opener, indoor football, Freeman Coliseum, Sunday, March 29th, 3 o'clock, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers. What's perfect about that? You're indoors. Weather is going to be perfect, and the action always exciting. High scoring, heavy hitting, love the full contact indoor football. High-level athletes, nonstop excitement, big hits. You get the crazy catches. If you get one of those field suites players, they end up in there. You know, they hit that wall, and you're like, yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. If you're down there, make sure you're paying attention because things come at you fast. Cool, if you catch a football, you get to keep it. Always a lot of fun. Great fun for the entire family. Perfect for fans of all ages. Get your tickets for Sunday now. SanAntonioGunslingers.com. You can get your tickets for Sunday, or you can buy full season packages there at SanAntonioGunslingers.com. Support your hometown gunslingers in the IFL. Kicking off season number 6. Think about that for a minute. Season number 6. All the teams, all the leagues that have come and gone from San Antonio, the Gunslingers are kicking off season number 6. Go out and have some fun Sunday afternoon. Again, kickoff at Freeman Coliseum, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll see you down there. Get your tickets now. SanAntonioGunslingers.com. That's SanAntonioGunslingers.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Nox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Nox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Nox 47 for free, call now. 800-647-8593. That's 800-647-8593. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-647-8593. That's 800-647-8593.
Four,
Monday just got better. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is hosting the Spring Golf Classic After Party at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petrenko. Party kicks off at 2 p.m. with the Blitz live on site. Big love to our tournament sponsor, Flight by Yingling, and props to our co-sponsors, Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Jim B, and Sarah Autogroup on the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos for making it happen. The Sports Star Golf Classic After Party, Monday at 2, Hangar Bar on Petrenko.
The NCAA tournament continues tonight with a Sweet 16 portion. You can catch it all on your home for the NCAA tournament, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. At 6 o'clock, 11th-seeded Texas will take on 2nd-seeded Purdue. 6:30, 4th-seeded Nebraska battles 9th-seeded Iowa. That's followed by number 1-seed Arizona and 4th-seed Arkansas. And then the nightcap at 8:45, a good one, 2-3 matchup. Houston taking on Illinois.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday afternoon. We certainly are here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And
happy opening day, sir.
It is opening day, and the Astros Rangers about to get things underway.
Blitz, can we put the Astros game on in there?
Or the Cardinals, if you can find that.
Yeah, screw that.
3:15, they play Tampa.
Pledge? Pledge awake in there?
It is opening day.
He's just giving you the stare down.
Yeah,
he's not even staring at us. He's staring at his screen like he's not hearing us.
Wonder what's on his screen. Can he do that at work?
I mean.
Brazzers?
All right, Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, man. No, it is opening. I don't count last night. Last night was weird. And
that was a soft opening.
Yeah, well, the Yankees just crushed San Francisco, and apparently the Netflix broadcast is getting all kinds of critique today.
Yeah. Let's talk about it on the Headline Blitz. Maybe.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
If you watched on Netflix, either in comments on our YouTube or call us up, how bad was it? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. One of the reviews called it unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
Said that L. Duncan on the pregame didn't even know what home plate was. And I find that hard to believe.
Well, I do too. I don't know what she said.
There must have been some sort of really bad moment for her.
Well, the biggest blunder, I guess, there was a challenge, the first one in Major League Baseball history, and they were doing an interview at the time, and we didn't see it.
Now, and I find that, I understand where, like, all right, history is being made, and they didn't do anything with it. And again, I was watching the Yankees broadcast last night. I didn't see any of the Netflix stuff. But when I saw the clip of what was going on, and they're doing all kinds of things special, and it seemed like they had special access for Netflix. So one of them are in-game interviews. So you get one of these in-game interviews, and all of a sudden, history's happening.
Yep.
And they stayed with the interview. So I almost feel like in all their gazillion production meetings, nobody said, now, if this happens, screw the interview, and let's talk about the history that is being made with the new strike zone thing. Dude tapped his helmet, but apparently the broadcasters, other than talking about it, yep, you know what, thanks for the interview. We just had our first one, and this is what it is, and never even went back and showed the replay. They didn't go retell the story of what was obviously missed.
Now, just from what I saw briefly, it looked like the umpire called a strike, and it looked to me it was clearly out of the strike zone.
So he tapped his head.
So he did, and I believe he won that review, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. But how are we going to know, because Netflix never showed us, or or explained what happened.
Yeah, and apparently, the score bug was ridiculous. That if you don't have 20/20 vision, that you weren't able to see it. Which, and I saw photos of it. It didn't look that bad, but I guess if you're watching it and trying to follow along, maybe it was bad. And if you were watching and struggling, go see our friends at Vision Source and get your 20/20 vision.
Exactly.
I mean, but it didn't. The photos that I saw of it didn't look that bad. But I wasn't watching it in real time. And of course, all the information on the score bug, which is the little graphic that gives you the score, the inning, the balls and strikes, that sort of thing. They're getting hammered royally for their broadcast last night.
Now, Joshua Jimenez says it was okay. He says the Chisholm interview was real good. So I didn't see any of that. But I guess it just depends on who you are. But look, it's Netflix's first one. I get it. You know, there's going to be some bugs. There's going to be some stuff you got to work out. So I'm not going to dog them too bad. But that should have been a no-brainer if there's history, because you know that's coming. You know that's going to happen most likely, and if it happens, you got to go to it. I mean, people want to see it. I think people are still learning what it is and how it's going to be used.
It's interesting. Funny because somebody on our YouTube says, you know, the other day they cut to from a Spurs game to Bam Adebayo's 83 points. Different network. That was Peacock.
I was pissed about that, too.
I was pissed about that.
Yes. I was like, damn, because the game was still close, the Spurs game at that time. Were they playing Boston at that? I can't remember who they played.
And then you go back and you look, could the producers said, you know, hey, wrap up the interview. Let's dump out of the interview, see if we can get them back. And then also, is it really that big of a deal? It's a new thing in baseball, which makes it a big deal. The first time it happens in whatever game you're watching is going to be there. And we will all decide if it's good or bad. You know, baseball has been so innovative in making changes, you know, from the pitch clock trying to speed up the games, and we all complained about it initially. Now you don't even notice it, and it works. Are these challenges, how it all works, how it plays in the game, all of it. But apparently, like last night on TV, you didn't see the challenge. You didn't see the pitch that led to the challenge. Mm-hmm. You didn't see the umpire having to announce to the crowd that dude doesn't believe me, so we've got to go look at this. You missed all of that in the broadcast last night.
It would have been very easy. Some producer get in the interviewer's ear and say, look, we're having this. We need to bail out. She could have told the player or the coach or whoever she was interviewing, say, hey, we got history over here. We got to go to this. And it would have been fine. The guy that was being interviewed would have been just fine with it.
And again, hindsight being 20/20 and doing things on the fly like that. Hey, we've got a challenge here. What have you guys as players talked about with these challenges while you see the whole process going on?
Absolutely.
But again, it's the first one.
First one.
First of many.
But they won't get another first opportunity for that particular call. They blew it.
Well, you know what else the San Francisco Giants have kind of blew it on here, blown it.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So now this sounds like a really good idea, Jim.
It does.
The 999 challenge. 9 beers, 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. Seems like an incredible deal that the San Francisco Giants have.
$55, I think, is what it costs.
$55. All right. You know what that actually gets you with their 999 challenge? Here's the giant flaw that the Giants have in their promotion. They're mini hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And even minier beers.
1 beer.
You get 1 24-ounce beer.
That they fill up 9 little cups with.
9 little cups.
Now.
And the 1 beer doesn't even fill up all 9 cups.
Now, those little beers I'd have finished before the first inning was over. Are you kidding me?
It's still... Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know.
That was a great idea.
Well, it sounds really good. And he's like, wow, $55, I get 9 beers?
Well, my first thought when I saw it, I was like, they really want you to pound 9 beers in 9 innings. There's a reason they quit selling after 7. The liability. Then you realize those glasses are not even little Dixie cups.
It's 1 24-ounce beer. I think the example they used was a Coors Light.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, yes, of course. But
Jacob Eric says that deal better come with a side bucket.
Yeah, no kidding. But the hot dogs are like little. I go to the Roux Pub and get those little corny dogs that are bigger than
corn dog bites.
Yeah, oh, those are delicious, dude. That's one of my favorite things there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Leaf blowers. Do you have a leaf blower?
I do.
Is it gas powered?
No, it's battery.
So is mine, but I think the better ones are gas powered. Well, if you live in Massachusetts or a town there, they're going to call the police on you if you're using a gas powered leaf blower.
Why?
Well, because it makes a lot of noise first of all, and then they want to be like, I think, environmentally sound. You're just doing your yard, blowing the leaves, probably looking back going, damn, this looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Here come the cops rolling up. Woo!
You would blame the yard guy.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. I wouldn't be blowing the grass anyway. That would be somebody else doing that. But I'd say, dude, sorry, I'll pay you when you get out of jail. It's I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not paying you, man. I pay you to do the yard, man. You used a gas blower. That's on you, dude. It'd be like you going hiking. Now,
yeah,
you've gone through a couple. You ever wanted to go on a hike and leave one up on top of the mountain?
Yes. Yes, I have.
There's a name for that.
Yeah,
it's called alpine divorce.
Yes.
Never heard of such a thing.
I didn't know this either, and it's interesting when I'm reading this article. I just saw a news story about this. Some dude tried to kill his wife up in the mountains when they went on a hike, and now he's on trial for
because there's other people hiking that saw the attempted murder. Yeah,
but without the murder part of this, men take their wives on a hike in the mountains, and they somehow leave them there, stranded, and that's called an alpine divorce.
So, because you're getting divorced when you get back.
Well, I guess
there's the example. Somebody, the writer of this article was like, I can't believe this. Did a lot of research. Apparently, it is a thing and it has a term. A lot of guys will do it to test their wives. Like one guy, to test them. Can they find their way home?
Yeah.
They're slowing things down. I'm just going to leave you here. Learn something new every day. Alpine divorce. Now, I know that if I were to tell my wife, you know what I want to do? Let's go for a hike today.
Yeah, mine too.
She would know something is up.
She's like, who the hell are you?
She would know there is something up.
Yes, mine too. Yeah, that's just nuts because look, the wife's going to be like a dog. She's going to find her way home, right? I mean, so you're screwed. Hey, don't do that. That's awful. Eventually going to find her way home. I don't know, somehow, some way. Let's talk a little NCAA basketball with our good friend Jason Thompson. We'll talk about the Encero Auto Group bracket for charity. I think we already have a winner. Perhaps, certainly a big leader in the clubhouse. We're talking about that. We'll talk about the rest of the night in the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA tournament. We return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's newest sports headquarters is Novo Brewery. We're talking over 80 feet of massive video walls, a lineup of craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. Novo Brewery, juicy, thick-cut ribeye steaks, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. Novo Brewery, built for fans, friends, and full-on game day energy. Novo Brewery, attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Check out the menu and taps at novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Ahoy, matey! Is that a new phone? Aye, Captain, that's me new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE. You must have paid a pretty doubloon for that. Nay, 'twas zero down from Cricket Wireless. So, you plundered it. Nay, again, 'tis a monthly payment plan with BreadPay. You're shivering me timbers. I shiver you not. Me first payment is next month. Aye, that's not a plunder. That's a steal.
Get a new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE for $0 down when you pay over time with BreadPay. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Subject to approval of credit application. BreadPay loans are made by Comenity Capital Bank and Bread Financial Company.
Monday just got better. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is hosting the Spring Golf Classic After Party at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petrenko. Party kicks off at 2 p.m. with the Blitz live on site. Big love to our tournament sponsor, Flight by Yingling, and props to our co-sponsors, Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Jim B, and Sarah Auto Group on the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos for making it happen. The Sports Star Golf Classic After Party, Monday at 2, Hangar Bar on Petrenko. Tomorrow morning at 6, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Check them out on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Going to be a big weekend NCAA basketball-wise. The Sweet 16 begins tonight And then, of course, we'll be down to the Final Four by the time the weekend is over. This is the Blitz, everybody, on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
The Major League Baseball season getting underway, and a lot of us are trying to figure out we don't have Space City Network on Spectrum here at the radio station. So
well,
the scramble is on. We'll find that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's also Sweet 16 time in the NCAA tournament. Opening day of baseball. Got basketball on tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously paying attention to what's going on with the Ancira Auto Group's Bracket for a Cause charity challenge. Let's talk about it with Jason Thompson, the Vice President of Operations for Ancira Auto Group, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. A couple of upsets, 1 seed knocked out already. Is all these different charities trying to get a $50,000 donation from the Ancira Auto Group. But I do think the $10,000 donation, while we can't officially call them a winner, I think we have a winner, don't we?
Yeah. I would think that the Children's Bereavement Center could probably lock that one in.
They were the 16 seed. And they got blown out by Florida, 114-55. 59 points, second largest blowout in tournament history. I would say, especially in the Sweet 16 round and beyond, it's going to be tough to beat that. They can probably figure out how they're going to spend that $10,000.
Yeah, that's they got the luck of the draw. If you're gonna get a low seed, I think the 16 was probably the way to go, and especially in that bracket.
Well, Jason, what's funny about that? Then Florida gets beat the very next game. So that's the beauty of the NCAA tournament. You just don't know what's going to happen from one week to the next. I've got to ask you, and obviously the big prize still up for grabs, the $50,000. Are you nervous about your Dukies tonight taking on or tomorrow taking on St. John's?
I really thought that Duke was going to have it on lock, but it's kind of twisted a little bit. They haven't played that well. Maybe they gel at this point, but St. John's with that lockdown defense and just all the pressure all the time, it could throw what is that, our team ramp, or that could throw them out of the tournament. And I think St. John's, if anybody can do it, they stand a good chance.
I know when we were doing the draw, Texas Ramp Project got Duke, and you were like, yeah, and again, you look at your own bracket. I don't know who ultimately you picked to be your national champion, but even you look at some of the games that we've got tonight, like Arizona and Arkansas. A lot of people have Arizona. I have them losing to Houston in the championship game. A lot of people think Arkansas could give Arizona some fits tonight.
Yeah. I don't see it as much, though. I think Arizona is just too strong. I think that's our Shriners. I think the Shriners got Arizona. So I think that's going to be – I think Arizona's in the Final Four. I think we've got Michigan. And I think that's kind of the fate with the Midwest having the Future Farmers of America having Michigan. I think you're going to see them. Houston, and I'm sticking with Duke, though. I'm sticking with Duke.
But you got to stick with Duke. I've got Michigan winning the whole thing in my bracket. I guess the surprise team that's playing tonight, I guess you can call them surprise, Texas, but they got a big battle tonight against Purdue. And I'll tell you, Jason, I think Purdue is one of those teams that could very well sneak in and win this whole thing.
Yeah, they can definitely do some damage. I think that they've got a favorable matchup against Texas, but Texas has kind of played well below their level for all year, and they're just really starting to play together. And I think it's probably three of the best games they've played all year, from the first last four in to now Sweet 16, and maybe they ride that momentum and emotion and pull it off.
Jason Thompson joining us here on the Blitz, Vice President of Operations for Ancira Auto Group, the Ancira Bracket for a Cause charity deal that we're doing. I'm curious, after we did the draw and everybody got their seeds, did you guys over at Ancira get any feedback from the charities that were complaining about their draws? Is it kind of like the coaches bitching about where they got seated?
Yeah. We had to just constantly say it was a random draw. There were no favorites. Some people claimed favoritism, but hey, you're gonna have some sore winners, sore losers. It doesn't matter. It's all about the luck of the draw at this point.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, you know what, Jason? I just think even these charities, even if you got a bad draw, this was such a great idea. I wouldn't have thought of it. It's just a great idea, and at the end of the day, you're gonna be giving away $60,000 to charity here in San Antonio.
Yeah, we're excited. That's kind of the MO with us. It's all about the community because they've gotten us where we are, and we know that there's a lot of charities that are short on funding right now. It was really easy during COVID to give away that money, and everybody had that money to give away. But right now, it's a little tougher. So we absolutely want to be out there and make sure that we give back to the community that made us who we are.
Well, and you look at, Jason, $50,000 to whoever ends up winning the championship, whoever has that charity or that charity that has that team is going to get one of those giant checks with us here in studio on Tuesday, April 7th. And it's a possibility, although I'm with you. It's going to be hard to beat 59 points. The clubhouse leader after day one was 35 points. And then there were, 2 or 3 34-point losses. And then you go in 59 to leave no doubt.
Yeah, I was kind of worried when we had 2 tied. I'm like, we're going to have to figure something out here. But, yeah, they sure did. They eased that pressure real quick.
Yeah, they did. Jason, appreciate you guys doing this over at Ancira Auto Group. It was your idea. Give you all the credit in seeing how it's playing out. It's been a lot of fun as we watch the tournament, knowing that these some charity is going to end up with $50,000, and it could be from a team playing the night. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys putting this out there and helping us all the way, and look forward to seeing who pulls this out.
Going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Jason Thompson, Vice President of Operations from the Ancira Auto Group, here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. If you're one of the charities or you just are curious and want to follow along, they're at sasportstar.com. There's a bracket that just kind of is just moving everybody along, and then tonight during the games, there's also a live bracket so you can see what the matchups are. And as games end, like on your ESPN bracket, they move along. It's a lot of fun seeing the charities out there and actually learning about some of the charities. There are a lot more charities than I thought there were.
I had no idea. I had over 100, right, that entered this thing. And so, my goodness, yeah, that's great. And it's just a good thing to do. And I think any charity, and obviously with the response that they got, any charity, why not take a shot at $50,000?
That's it.
I mean, my goodness.
That's what it's all about.
Sure.
Or 10 for having the biggest blowout loss. I don't know, do they send the thank you note to Prairie View A&M or to Florida, or a little bit of both? Either way, it works. Now, you look at the games tonight, Texas-Purdue. Texas, the only double-digit seed, still dancing. I didn't think they would be here as a Longhorn fan. I look at this Purdue matchup. Purdue's favored by 8.5. But if Texas can play like they've been playing, if that can travel, and Sean Miller, who's a hell of a coach, if he can continue, I mean, it'd be a monumental upset, 11-2. But if you took the seeds away, Texas, Purdue, and you look at the matchup, that should be a really good game, a game you can listen to tonight here on 94.1.
You know, I don't know how I feel about that, but I said that sincerely. Purdue is one of those teams I think you could sneak in there and surprise some people. This is a tough matchup for Texas. I just think Purdue is they're a hell of a lot better than Texas. Let's just put it that way. But they're a lot better than a lot of teams. I think they're a 7.5-point favorite the last time I checked. It's going to be a tough game. Everything's going to have to go right for Texas to win this game. I don't know. I think the road ends for your Longhorns tonight.
Cinderella's?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Her pumpkin appears.
Her pumpkin,
Cinderella.
Nebraska, Iowa.
That may be the best game of the night, in all honesty.
Well, I mean, that or Arizona, Arkansas. I think I'm with Jason Thompson. I think Arizona rolls, but Arkansas is one of those sneaky teams that you're saying there's a chance.
Look, with John Calipari as their head coach, there's always a chance. That guy he's good. He's got a lot of NCAA tournament history, and I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count them out at all. I think they're a big underdog too. 9.5. I think the last I heard.
ESPN has them at 8.5.
8.5. Okay, so Arizona's just that good. They are really that good. But I think Arkansas, at least for a while, will make it a game. Your Houston boys better watch out with this Illinois team tonight.
Only a 2.5-point favorite. Houston, I have cutting down the nets. They're playing at home.
This is true.
Illinois is good, but that Houston Cougar team is good. Ask A&M, right? I mean, and they're playing good basketball. For the little poor schools there at UH, Calvin Sampson crying poor yesterday. But I'm with you. I'm a little surprised to see that line only at 2.5.
Illinois is good. That's why it's only 2.5.
It's Sweet 16. They're all good.
Well, this is true. But still, Illinois has a shot to win this game tonight. But I think Houston has a huge, huge advantage, the fact that they're playing at home. So that's going to make it sweet. But it all starts tonight, 6 o'clock, Texas, Purdue. They'll get you started tonight. And then, of course, Iowa, Nebraska, and the two nightcaps, Arkansas, Arizona, Illinois, and Houston. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk a lot more NCAA tournament as the show progresses on this Thursday afternoon. But when we come back, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I watched that Spurs game last night and was simply embarrassed for the NBA. Simply embarrassed for the NBA. Spurs did what they needed to do. They looked great. But Memphis, now they'd have rather been just about anywhere, it looked like. Maybe back in their high school where they play normally. Who knows? It was awful. We're talking about it, and Adam Silver's talking about not only tanking, which we saw last night, but also NBA expansion. We're talking about all of that when we return here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. 4 Sweet 16 games down, 4 to come, and a full weekend ahead of us, Rob.
The NBA is going to get busy as well, and the Spurs going to make up ground. We'll talk about that. And oh, by the way, lots of baseball. How'd the Rangers and Astros do? Hey, it's Friday. Get here early. The party, it starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ready to free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on Federal Returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Disney's Descendants, Zombies, and Camp Rock Worlds Collide Tour is coming. Celebrate hit songs from the movies, performed live, starring Malachi Barton, Liamani Segura, Dara Renee, Makana Knife, Hudson Stone, Sway Mbatia, Kiara Romero, and Alexandro Bird. More worlds will collide. Friday, December 4th at Moody Center. Get tickets Friday, March 27th at 10 a.m. at worldscollidetour.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 29th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Hey, be sure and make plans to join us tomorrow out at Northwest Automotive Warehouse. We'll be doing the Blitz 2 to 6 tomorrow, Northwest Automotive Warehouse right there on Calabria. You can come hang out with us. You would talk, obviously, Spurs, Sweet 16, all of that stuff, plus your chance to win exclusive 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star T-shirts. It is tomorrow, this Friday, out at Northwest Automotive Warehouse on Calabria from 2 to 6. They got a bunch of cool stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never been out there and you're into that stuff, even if you're not, it is really cool to go out there and see all the toys that they have.
Especially if you have a truck.
Yeah.
Or Jeeps. Like when we were doing the Hunters Extravaganza, they had one of those displays, and I thought Reinagel was going to get rid of the car and go buy something just to get all the accessories for the truck. It's going to be a fun time tomorrow. 2 to 6 down on at Calabria, and maybe Reinagel will have TweetDeck figured out by then.
This is unbelievable, and I was just about to write a tweet explaining what happened. I got no warning on this, no nothing. All of a sudden, because I use well, it used to be called TweetDeck, right? So you have all kinds of columns. Now it's called X Pro or something like that. Well, I go to it, and it's telling me that you got to update to Premium Plus.
Okay.
So I paid $86 a year.
Okay.
For the TweetDeck and to get the little blue check mark and all of that.
Affordable.
Yeah. So they tell me I got to upgrade. It's now $390 a year. And I'm like, screw you.
Well, wait a minute. So it went from 80-something to basically $400?
Yes.
So you could have TweetDeck.
So I could have TweetDeck.
What else do you get with
X
that?
Pro. I hope you get a...
Well, careful.
Yeah.
Because Right now, old Elon is saying...
Try to shove it up their ass.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's saying. I just wonder, has anybody else experienced this? Now, if you've got a yearly subscription, whenever your year is, this is going to come up. But it's not like I got an email warning saying, hey, this is coming up and you're going to have to do this. It was just all of a sudden it's gone.
You know what, though? And I know that sucks. At least they didn't just charge your card, and then you got to figure out, well, what's this for? And then try to undo it. Because I'm sure when you signed up, you probably signed up for some sort of automatic renewal.
Well, I don't remember that. Obviously, it was a year ago today.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Sweet, that gave you an Alpine divorce.
And so, yeah, damn right. Unbelievable. I can't believe that this happened. So I don't know if anybody else is had this happen to them. Is there a workaround? I mean, there's no option. It said my original subscription is this. I don't even have the option to renew that. It's just I got to go to this new one. I mean, that's a $300 increase per year.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, I'm not doing it.
Elon knows you'll do it.
Elon can kiss my big old hiney. Ain't doing it. Unbelievable.
So Ryan Eagle's a little pissy now.
Well, that kind of pisses me off.
Understandable. Yeah. Although, is there a workaround? See, what I'm pissed off about right now is not just Ryan Eagle today. It's opening day of Major League Baseball. Because T-Mobile, over the last couple of days, has been running this promotion. If you're and I'm a T-Mobile customer, have been for years. Well, I was Sprint before that, but you get MLB TV for free. You can watch all the games on your phone.
Nice.
Out-of-market games.
Yes.
Well, I don't live in a Major League Baseball city, so they're all out-of-market games to me. But I can't watch the Astros or the Rangers right now on my phone. Every other game I can watch. But the Astros and Rangers, they've got to slash through the TV. The hell is that?
Well, you know what you can watch, and you ought to put it on. It's the Cardinals-Rays game.
Why the hell would I put on the Cardinals and Rays game?
I want to see it because you can. And at least we can watch some baseball. I don't know how good a baseball it will be, but it is baseball.
Look, there it is. There's,
see that?
I can.
Look at that. Perfect. There you go. Way to go, Minix.
I'll mute that. Watch a little baseball.
See, that makes me feel better a little bit. Although
0-0 is the score. You want me to put the
it just started.
The game right?
It just started. It was fancy because on my now no longer tweet deck, I saw the Anheuser-Busch wagon with the Clydesdales pulling it out there. Welcome to opening day, Cardinal fans.
Claymore. Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
No, but my gosh. Is that I understand if it goes up $20, $30, all right. 300? I mean, what the hell? I mean,
you're fine.
Come with a butler and a
what? A hand what?
Yeah.
They're going to give you a hand. They probably celebrate just like that. They give everybody a hand when they, we got another sucker.
It's another sucker. Jeez, unbelievable. Well, that thoroughly pisses me off.
See, now Christopher Summer says it's been that way. You can't watch Texas teams. I get that on your TV services. But the way they promote the app, watch all the games and on the go. And I guess the out-of-market part still applies even on your phone, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Especially like the Astros are on Space City, right? Well, we've got Spectrum here at the TV station. Space City isn't an option on Spectrum. And so what is the option? Well, you get something like MLB TV, although I'm guessing Space City must have their own app, if that's the case. I didn't realize Spectrum is also now in a pissing match with FanDuel. So I knew Dish Network. So, like, Pledge is a Spectrum dude. So you can't even watch the Spurs unless you buy their fancy app?
I don't know if it's the fancy app or if it's the fact that I can't
they've changed the packages to where maybe it's on an upgraded package.
Well, get the more expensive package.
Oh, yeah.
Or just get a magic box, Pledge.
Yeah.
Pledge should get the magic box.
He should. He's management now and all.
But then we would lose TV in here, and so he's got to keep Spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. So the station doesn't pay for the TV in here? Pledge does?
No, because the cable box is actually in our office, and we're not willing to give that up.
Oh, my God. Oh.
See, in our old studio, it was on a box.
Yeah.
And now in this studio, there wasn't a box, so Pledge just uses his app.
Well, that's nice of you, Pledge. I had no idea about that.
So he can't change.
Wow.
He can't get the magic box. Or he could get the magic box for his house as long as he kept the app in here.
We could do that.
Although now he needs to upgrade so we can watch some baseball on opening day.
I could put YouTube TV up on there, but that wouldn't solve our baseball problem.
I can put Tigers Padres on.
No.
I need the Padres to score 13 runs. I'm in a 13-run league. There's a pot every time somebody scores 13 runs, however many days it's been since the last time you get the pot. So my luck of the draw was the Padres for that.
I'm just really still bitter about this whole Twitter thing. And you know what? Just because of that, Elon, I'm not going to call it X. It's Twitter forever.
You've never called it X. You've always called it Twitter, which is why he's screwing you for an extra $300.
Well, now I won't. Well, I'm not paying it, buddy.
You say that now.
No, I'm telling you.
No, you'll have your tweet deck withdrawals.
Nope. Not doing it.
See, there's people like R.J. Ochoa. He can't function without tweet deck, so Elon could charge him $4,000 and he would pay it.
Well, I'm going to have to ask R.J. what he's doing about that.
He's found a workaround.
I guess so. Schottenheimer and Michael Irvin just took a picture together, looks like. Michael Irvin tweeted that out.
Nice.
How about that?
Does that have anything to do with TweetDeck?
It has not. Well,
Okay.
It's on TweetDeck.
Is it?
It's on Twitter.
No, it's just on your Twitters.
No TweetDeck for Joe anymore. I'm done. Thanks, Elon.
Man.
What the hell? The guy, does he not have enough money?
Apparently no.
I mean, the guy's got billions. Unbelievable, man.
He needs more billions.
Really pisses me off. Almost as bad as seeing what the Memphis Grizzlies put on the floor last night. It was awful. The Spurs did what they need to do. This is not a knock against the Spurs. You play who's in front of you. But the Memphis Grizzlies just said, tanking right here in front of your face, deal with it. We don't care how bad the product is. Doesn't matter. As long as we get more balls in the hopper.
It's been happening for so long. Tanking. This year feels worse. Commissioner Adam Silver has a couple of ideas as to why it is so bad right now.
The competition committee started earlier this year re-examining the whole approach to how the draft lottery works. There have been lots of different ideas out there over the years, not just necessarily changing the draft lottery odds yet once again, but looking at whether there's a better system here to try to align incentives. The point about this year, when you look at totality of the circumstances, I mean, of course, I'm paying attention to what's happening, and the perception is you have a very deep draft class this year, a perception that the next 2 years' draft classes aren't as good. There's no doubt that's affecting the behavior of our teams. But at the end of the day, I think all the teams need to step back, the ownership of those teams, and just as a reminder that we're all in this together, we want to have fair competition, we want to have fair systems, and to keep an eye on the fans, most importantly, and their expectation that we're going to be putting the best product forward.
Well, at least you're going to be looking at it for whatever that's worth. Because, look, last night, honestly, if that would have been in Memphis and, I don't know, somebody I didn't care about, I'd have turned that off immediately. I mean, it was just bad basketball on the part of the Memphis Grizzlies. Horrible.
Tough to watch. We all hate tanking. When the Spurs were tanking, we talked about why we hated tanking, but we understood why they were doing it. And the Spurs ended up with Wemby. And when you look at Oklahoma City, the defending champions and the current 1 seed. You look at the current 2 seed. All these organizations that are tanking are using those two as the examples of we've got to go through this suckage to hopefully be able to turn the battleship around and get to where those teams are. And so the process of tanking sucks for 3 or 4 or 5 years, but if you work it the right way and get the right players and the right lottery balls, you have the ability to turn things around. And there's examples of why teams do this, and it sucks in the short term, but if it gets you back, if Memphis goes through this and in 3 or 4 or 5 years they're competing for second place behind Wemby and the Spurs, they're going to say it was worth it.
Well, they are, but the rest of us, look, if you're not a fan of that team, I'm not a fan of the Utah Jazz or the Memphis Grizzlies, and they're tanking, and it pisses me off. Look, it pissed me off when the Spurs did it too. I know it worked out well, but I don't like the idea of tanking. Losing on purpose makes zero sense to me in any sport. It just makes no sense. And the way the system is set up, you're right, it is designed for tanking. But the problem is it hurts the rest of the product. It just does. And I'm convinced of it. And again, this is no defense of Oklahoma City. I really don't care what they do, and I hope the Spurs catch them. But just look on the face of it. Oklahoma City had to play Boston last night. They knowing damn good and well if they lose that game, there's a game, because the Spurs already had a win before they even tipped it off. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get a win on Saturday when they take on Milwaukee because they're tanking. And then they've got the Bulls after that. They're tanking. And it's just, I guess it just depends on how the schedule falls because everybody plays those teams that are tanking. But at this time of year, they're tanking a little worse than they were, say, I don't know, a month or two ago.
And it does feel like there's more this year, but it's a deep draft, so teams are racing for the bottom because the system rewards this kind of suckage. Do they need to change the system? Now that the Spurs are on the other side of it for the foreseeable future, sure, because I didn't like it to begin with. And if it's everybody has an equal number of lottery balls in the system, there's no reward for being really, really bad, I think there needs to be some sort of rule that you can't pick in the top 5, the top 6, 8, something like that in back-to-back years, or you can only get a top pick once every 3 or 4 years because that would be less incentive. Granted, the Spurs almost had a chance to get Cooper Flagg. They ended up with the 2 pick. They ended up with a 4 pick. So the Spurs have benefited from everything that I want to change, and I know that. But going through it, we all said the same thing. This sucks, but the NBA is dropping its salary cap by $1 million next year because revenue's down. Why? Because you've got games like last night that becomes an unwatchable product. So they do need to fix something. Plus, you got an expansion draft that is going to be coming up when you add in Las Vegas and Seattle. Now, granted, there's going to be the end of the bench guys are the ones that are unprotected in an expansion draft, but those teams won't be good anytime soon unless they're able to get free agents to go there or they go through a number of drafts where they're going to have the top picks. And maybe with the expansion, you've got the ability to reset all the rules, including the lottery.
Look, I hope they do something. I really do, because I'm getting some guy says idiotic to say that tanking is not good because Spurs fans are getting all the benefits of tanking plus a new arena. I get all of that, but what happens eventually when the product sucks so bad that nobody watches the NBA anymore? And then what kind of benefit do you get? Are people going to sit around and watch the NBA when there's only 12 teams that are any good, and everybody else you go in and you just kick their ass and it's not competitive anymore? Seriously, at some point in time, it is going to hurt the entire product. And not only that, with the gambling dollars that the NBA is taking in right now, when are these gambling businesses going to say, look, we can't do that. we can't adjust the lines enough to know when teams are tanking, when they're playing for real, when they're resting players that aren't really hurt. I mean, eventually it's going to take its toll on the entire product and not just the teams that are tanking. And so, to me, it's a dead-end street, and eventually you're going to hit that dead end.
And last night, unwatchable. That's one thing, even with football teams, for the most part, when you know they're not trying to win, the games are still somewhat competitive. You know, that's the crazy part. Organizations tank, players don't. But you're seeing so much bad basketball. You know, there's a reason Milwaukee wants to shut down Giannis, because they don't want to win. Ja Morant shut down for the rest of the year. But it's almost like they're putting guys on the floor that aren't even NBA quality guys. Like last night, Memphis, 3 or 4 of those dudes that played last night, you would say are NBA quality.
Yeah, exactly. If that. I mean, honestly, if that. It was watching the Spurs play a G League team. That's exactly what it was, and not a very good G League team. It was pathetic. It was just pathetic. And again, this is not a knock on the Spurs. You play who's in front of you, and you win the game, and you move on. But it is a knock on the NBA, because if I'm Adam Silver and I'm watching that nonsense, that crap that was on my TV last night, I'm embarrassed. It was just crap, plain and simple, and something's got to be done about it. And again, like we're seeing the comments on the YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star, yeah, if it's your team, you're all for it. If you're not, it's a load of crap, and that's exactly what it is. Adam Silver and Elon Musk are on my poop list right now. I'm just saying.
What a combination of guys to be wiping.
Dude wipes, both of you.
Dude wipes?
Like yes.
Bidet or sandpaper?
Oh, it is opening day in
Two-ply.
Major League Baseball. I like dinger. That is, or dong. We'll take a break. We'll talk a little baseball.
He also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Get you updated on what's happening in Major League Baseball in the official opening day of MLB when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before we go, though, let me tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, nice family, good folks. And, look, they've been in business here since 1983. Just think about that for a minute. I mean, that's a long time to be in business for any business, much less a roofing business. So that should tell you all you need to know about the reputation and about the quality of the work that the folks at Stevens Roofing do. And now they've added solar to what they do. If you've been thinking about solar panels on your house, and I know a lot of you have, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you want to remember. The number you want to remember is 210-785-0994. Let them know exactly what you're thinking about doing and how you want to do it and how it's going to benefit you, and let them help you put a plan in place, and then you know they're going to do it right, and they're going to stand behind their work. If you've walked outside and you see something on your roof that just doesn't look right, and you think, I need to check that out, call Stevens Roofing and Solar. They'll send an experienced team to your house, and they'll inspect your roof, and they'll do it for free. They'll let you know if there's anything wrong up there, anything that needs to be taken care of. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons to...
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Hornitos 100% agave tequila isn't for the few, but for the many. To pour with friends and friends of friends. For you, for me, for everyone. Hornitos, the tequila de todos.
100% agave tequila for 100% of tequila lovers. Hornitos Tequila, 40% alcohol volume, 2026 Salsa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Most of the time, La Playa sounds like this. For some, La Playa also sounds like this.
30, the 20, the 10.
But no matter what, this is our playa. Corona, La Playa awaits. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
Ahoy, matey! Is that a new phone? Aye, Captain, that's me new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE. You must have paid a pretty doubloon for that. Nay, 'twas zero down from Cricket Wireless. So, you plundered it. Nay, again, 'tis a monthly payment plan with bread pay. You're shivering me timbers. I shiver you not. Me first payment is next month. Aye, that's not a plunder. That's a steal.
Get a new Samsung Galaxy S25 FE for $0 down when you pay over time with bread pay. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Subject to approval of credit application. Bread pay loans are made by Comenity Capital Bank and Bread Financial Company.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Texas A&M running back E.J. Smith said after his pro day yesterday that he has a workout with the Cowboys next week, then the Texans in 2 weeks. Of course, Smith is the son of former Cowboys running back and the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. Well, according to Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, LSU cornerback Mansour Delane is in Frisco today. He's there for a top 30 visit with the Dallas Cowboys.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, I hope everybody's having a great Thursday afternoon out there. However you're doing it, whatever you're doing, thanks a lot for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. That's Jason Minix, and we're happy to have you along on this Thursday, opening day of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, happy opening day. Phillies leading the Texas Rangers 2-0. Astros and Angels scoreless.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't watch any of those games. That sucks, but there you go. We'll keep you updated. If you can't watch them either, then we will we'll do that. So unbelievable. I'm happy that Major League Baseball is underway. It's a long journey, obviously, from here, but happy that it is, and we'll see what happens. Cardinals are up 1-0, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Nobody cares.
Well, in case you're wondering, that's the case.
I wasn't wondering.
I knew that you were.
I was wondering if I say Ice or Iceman.
Yes.
Who am I talking about?
George Gervin. It's a no-brainer.
No brainer.
Yes.
No brainer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you go anywhere, you say Iceman, you say Ice, you know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes.
It's George Gervin, and then it's the dude from Top Gun. But Caleb Williams tried to trademark Iceman. And now George Gervin has to sue the young kid.
Well, he does, but you brought up a good point. We were talking about this earlier. Gervin never trademarked it.
The Iceman, George Gervin, and his team left the door open for this to happen. And I will say, the San Antonio Spurs, I wish you would campaign for Wemby this way. The Spurs official Twitter account, they tweeted out a photo, the famous poster photo, and said there's only one Iceman.
Yes.
Right? And that is true. Does Caleb Williams have a chance to win this thing?
I don't think so. Look, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. It depends, I guess, on the judge that you are in front of, or however this is going to work.
Well, the judge is going to be old and is going to remember watching the Iceman.
Well, I would think so, but I don't think there's anybody in the country that is a basketball fan and that saw George Gervin play ball or has heard of him since. I mean, that's his name. It's his, and I don't know where did Caleb Williams come up with that.
Well, Caleb Williams started getting called Iceman last year because he would do that touchdown celebration where he kind of shivers like he had ice in his veins.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about, dude, that belongs to George Gervin. What are you doing? Who, by the way, for those of you that forgot, did spend some time with the Chicago Bulls.
He did.
So there are probably some longtime Bulls fans that, hey, dude, that's George Gervin's. But Williams recently filed 4 trademark applications related to the Iceman nickname, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. The sad part is Gervin filed trademark applications for Iceman and Iceman 44 4 days after Williams submitted his own. Gervin noted in his paperwork that he first used the Iceman moniker for goods and services in 1979, which happens to be 22 years before Caleb was even born. The CEO of Gervin Global Management, some guy with a name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, said that he wrongly believed Gervin had already trademarked the nickname and that the confusion stemmed from the death of a business associate. Now, the law is the law. If Gervin thought he had it done and the guy that he thought did the work is now dead, and the new guy that took the job just assumed it was already done, because I think we all assumed athletes at that level have trademarked all that kind of stuff. I mean, George Gervin's vodka is called, Ice 44, something like that? Not Iceman, but you would just think that by now all that would be done. I think by the letter of the law, Caleb Williams could win this thing.
Well, George, he's got a poster that says Iceman.
If he didn't trademark it.
Well, I know, but come on.
Again, letter of the law.
I guess.
Letter of the law. George Gervin filed paperwork when he found out Caleb did. Well, wait a minute. I have that. Oh, I don't? Oh. I mean, there's a reason why. Like right now, you know this is happening in Las Vegas because the Seattle Sonics are going to be the Seattle Sonics. But right now, all these different team name possibilities for Las Vegas for their basketball team, there are a bunch of people trying to buy websites and trademarks for all the potential names. Remember, the Washington Commanders were dealing with that when they were, all right, we're not going to be the Redskins anymore. What are we going to be? And that dude bought, 50 some odd different websites.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what are you going to, you got to buy it from them.
Yeah, but you have to, yeah. But, I don't know, this is funny, and somebody brought this up. This is not but Top Gun, did he have any problem with Val Kilmer's character?
Well,
Iceman?
I mean, it's not like they were selling merchandise and trying to make money off the name Iceman. They were making money off of Top Gun. That was a character in a movie. See, George Gervin makes money as the Iceman.
Well, of course he does.
Right? Although, does anybody ever call him Iceman? No, we see George. Hey, what's up, Ice?
Ice.
He's Ice.
But
he needs to trademark that too.
Well, it's like, my name's Joseph. You call me Joe. It's a nickname. You shorten it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works, Minix.
Well, I mean, can Gervin be Ice and Caleb be Iceman?
No.
I'm with you. I'm on George's side all this, and I hope. I mean, part of it. What the hell is wrong with Caleb Williams and his team?
Exactly.
To think that George Gervin wouldn't respond.
And who the hell, honestly, maybe people in Chicago are going to call him Iceman. I don't look at Caleb Williams and think of Iceman. Maybe nail polish?
Stop.
I'm just saying, maybe you could go with that. Jeez.
Now, in this article on CBS,
50 interceptions this year.
There are other instances of athletes that have the same or similar nicknames, like Lawrence Taylor and LaDainian Tomlinson, both went by LT.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Clemens and Rocket Ismail, Raheem Ismail, went by Rocket. You've got LeBron James, Henrik Lundqvist, and Felix Hernandez are all King.
Yeah, but are they making money off of that?
Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sure.
Wasn't Shane Mosley also a Sugar?
Sugar Shane Mosley, yeah.
There's a bunch of A-Rods out there, but I don't know that any of them are more known for their nicknames. See, and that's it. Like George Gervin, if I say A-Rod, you need clarification. I say Iceman, you don't need clarification on who we're talking about.
No, everybody knows that's Gervin.
If I say King James, I'm talking about LeBron, not the hockey goalie. Right? So it's not necessarily having the same nickname. It's how are you identified, and are you using that in your business world? And George Gervin has probably made more money, and I don't know this is a fact, but math is math. He's made more money as the Iceman post-basketball playing than he probably made while he was playing.
Well, he got called that while he was playing.
Well, yeah.
I mean, because of the way that he played.
Well, and that poster.
Yeah, absolutely.
That legendary poster.
Yeah, so look, I really hope Ice wins this thing because, look, Caleb Williams doesn't deserve it. He's undeserving of that particular nickname.
Now, I don't know if it's ever been resolved, but we recently went through this with Troy Aikman and Lamar Jackson. Because of the 8 trademarks.
Yeah. Didn't Troy win that?
I don't know if he won that or not. But there are a lot of 8s out there. And I guess it really depends on how you're using it. I just kind of feel bad because George Gervin left the door open for this to happen. Because he thought it was done, and his team thought it was done, and it wasn't. And when you're filing for it 4 days afterwards, do you really get that kind of a mulligan in the eyes of the court of the law?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I think you've got to come out and all the stuff we've been talking about, that he's been nicknamed Iceman for, even before Caleb Williams was even a scratch in his daddy's pants, for goodness sake. I'm just saying. Come on.
I know Ice left the door open. Don Harris says, "So what? Do the right thing." Caleb Williams needs to drop this.
Well, I totally agree with that. It's kind of like trying to use somebody's number. Who was it? Was it Keldon Johnson? Who was it that was? It was recently somebody getting and he gave it up and he did the right thing.
Yeah, for CP3.
Yeah, and he did the right thing. So that's what you do. It's out of respect. And I think instead of starting a fight with George Gervin, Caleb Williams needs to give it up and think of something else. How about Snowman? You know, you're still cold. You still got ice in your veins. How about Mr. Freeze? You think Batman would let that go? Remember Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It depends on the trademark, my friend.
Well, it could be. I'm just saying there are other nicknames out there. So, Caleb.
He doesn't want to be Caleb the Camel?
He should be. Hump Day!
Hump Day!
I mean, see Will?
See Will? Nah, that's too easy. Why did you think of a nickname for Caleb Williams?
I don't give a damn about Caleb Williams to try to come up with a nickname for him. He just needs to leave George Gervin's alone.
I just want him to, get the hell away from Gervin and let it go. That's ridiculous. So, Caleb, karma is a female dog, buddy. Wow. I'm just saying. Wow. And
he also knows there's a ticklish little pitch coming up.
Yes, there is. There is. Spurs did what they had to do last night against subpar competition, but it doesn't matter. They got the dub, and they're getting really, really close to those OKC types. Let's talk some Spurs basketball. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Such an incredible day in sports. Obviously, with NBA, you've got opening day of Major League Baseball, and, of course, the NCAA tournament does continue tonight with the Sweet 16 round. Opening up my Underdog app, looking at Texas and Purdue and what I might want to get involved with tonight as far as choosing higher or lower in predicted stats. I got a 50% profit boost offered to me right away, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, you get all your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and all you're doing is picking whether you think your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats, whether it's points, rebounds, steals, that sort of thing. So download the Underdog app today. Use my promo code STAR to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit ncpgambling.org.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Juicy, thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. This is bring your appetite food. Novo is attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit NovoBrew.com.
Texas Gun Shows brings you the largest gun shows, and this weekend it's in Hondo, Texas at the Medina County Fair Hall. Open this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 and 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Medina County Fair Hall this Saturday and Sunday, 733 FM 462 North. America's #1 destination for lifted trucks, custom builds, and off-road ready vehicles is here. Lifted Trucks San Antonio is on the corner of I-35 and Judson. Shop over 1,000 lifted trucks online at liftedtrucks.com or visit one of our Texas locations today.
Car wreck? What happens next? Thomas J. Henry knows you deserve to get compensated for your injuries. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. The name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Attention ladies, this is Officer Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. Are you interested in a career in law enforcement? If so, please join us for our Women in Policing event on March 28th at 8 a.m. at the SAPD Academy. Wear your PT attire and join us for some team building activities. Talk with other female officers from several specialized units over coffee provided by Flower Girl. Call our office at 210-207-5050 for more information or go to sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
At Macy's VIP sale, there isn't just one way to save. First, take 25% off our best brands, like Good American, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, and so many more. Then, take 15% off must-have beauty and fragrance from Miu Miu, Yves Saint Laurent, and Prada. And Star Rewards members can earn Star Money even faster on everything else. Only at Macy's VIP sale. Hurry, it all ends Sunday. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-8841.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. 4 Sweet 16 games down, 4 to come, and a full weekend ahead of us, Rob.
The NBA is going to get busy as well, and the Spurs going to make up ground. We'll talk about that. And oh, by the way, lots of baseball. How'd the Rangers and Astros do? Hey, it's Friday. Get here early. The party, it starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spurs, well, they had an easy time of it last night. Looked pretty good having an easy time of it, but they did take on a Memphis Grizzlies team that, well, let's just say was less than spectacular.
Memphis didn't give a damn. They were as cold as ice, you might say, last
night. And nobody playing.
Well, nobody playing.
Unbelievable.
Can you imagine if you're on a team and you're getting your butt kicked and it's so bad you don't even need to ice your knees at the end because you didn't try hard?
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Yeah.
It's kind of what it felt like last night. Although what is interesting, you look at last night's game, blowout win, as expected. Oklahoma City loses. Spurs are now 2 back of Oklahoma City. Of course, they have the tiebreaker. They did clinch, at the very least, home court advantage in the first round, which Mitch Johnson says is a big deal.
I would expect it to be loud with a lot of excitement, enthusiasm. But yeah, it's still a little bit away, so hopefully we can continue to get better and make some improvements in a lot of areas before then.
I'm wondering what areas he wants to improve. I mean, in all seriousness.
Is there a coach ever satisfied?
Well, no, and that's a good thing. But, I mean, when you look at how the Spurs played last night, now, albeit, they did what they needed to do, and I'm not ripping the Spurs. I'm upset with the NBA for allowing this kind of nonsense to carry on. But having said all that, the Spurs are playing pretty damn well, and not just one guy. Obviously, Wemby is Wemby, but you got Castle, you've got Harper, you've got De'Aaron Fox didn't play last night, and they certainly didn't need him last night. But you've got so many guys playing so well that it's hard to find a weakness, in all honesty, in this ball club right now.
And again, they're shooting the ball really well right now. That certainly helps. But while Mitch Johnson talks about improvements, Steph Castle talks about the improvements this team has made on the defensive end.
I think our team defense is great. Obviously, the head of the snake being big makes it a lot easier for us to be aggressive and, pick up full court. But I think everybody's individual defense has taken a step since last year at least. And I feel like me and Vic have been, the most beneficial out of that.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, and those two guys, when you talk about defense, obviously you start with Wemby, and then you go to Steph Castle, who is just, to me, he's a lockdown defender. And he's proven that this year. And I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Castle, not only defensively, but offensively. This guy can do it on both ends of the floor, and that makes him a special player. And I think this guy, he gets overshadowed, obviously, by Victor Wembanyama. But I tell you what, this dude is a stud, and he can flat out play.
Dude, I mean, that's the crazy thing. And obviously, Vic is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He might even win MVP. And you can now start to debate Steph Castle. Is he first team all defense or not? His head coach is at least campaigning for that.
He guards primary players every night from all various types, on and off the ball. The only thing that's really similar with the guys that he guards is they're always a primary option. And I think he has grown tremendously in his discipline of being physical without fouling. I think he's grown off the ball, and I think on the basketball, he's as good as there is in the league. And I think his ability to stay connected to people without fouling, to be physical and wear on guys over time, to get through screens and just provide resistance is as good as I've seen.
He's as good as I've seen too, and I mean that in all sincerity. I mean, there's a lot of good defensive players in the league, even though it is an offensive league now. But there are a lot of good ones in there. What I like about Castle is he's kind of assumed that Bruce Bowen role with his team in a lot of ways, because he's going to lock down the other team's best player. But he's a much better scorer than Bruce Bowen, and he can do more things. He assists. He gets to the basket and flat out defends. He's a good all around player, and the Spurs are lucky to have him. And props to Brian Wright for having the wherewithal to draft that kid at number 4.
It's interesting because you could debate first team or not. I'd have to really go look to say first or second. He'll be on one of the all defensive teams.
Yes,
Supermax. I don't know if I don't know if he's first team or not. And I think playing next to Wemby might hurt him in that area. But defense is 50% of the game. And it's funny because that's been the talk since Wemby made his MVP speech the other night. And again, I say it that way tongue in cheek. We all know he was asked a question and he answered it. And we spent a lot of time on the show yesterday and the day before. Why does SGA or Luka not get those questions? Well, both the Lakers and the Thunder played yesterday. Now, the Thunder lost, but shoot around. Nobody asked SGA about Wemby's comments or to respond to him or to list 3 reasons why he should win MVP. We listened to everything. Credit Edwin listened to everything said yesterday by SGA and by Luka. Neither one of them were even asked to respond to what Vic said. Not even, hey, did you hear Wemby? Got any thought? Nothing. They weren't even asked about MVP or Wemby's comments. You know who was? Draymond Green.
I hated it, and I absolutely loved it. And the reason I hated it is because until Wemby said defense is 50% of the game, it was like, oh, man, no one realized that, right? Like, no one realized that 50% of the game we play is on that end of the floor. So he comes out and makes this profound-ass statement, and it's like, oh, of course it is. And everybody's like, oh, man, he has a great point. Hello? You think? So I hated it because he had to do that for that to then be said. All of a sudden, you turn on TV and everybody's like, actually, maybe Wemby is the MVP. And I can agree with that. Maybe he is. But the fact that he has to come out and remind people, hey, y'all see what I do over there? It's like an indictment on the game of basketball. And everybody, talk all of this stuff about, oh, man, you got to play both sides. And everybody want to crush Luka Doncic when Luka doesn't live up to the standard of defense. But we got this guy defending entire teams, and no one took it into account until he said, well, number one, defense is 50% of the game.
Well, Draymond, as you know, that's why they have a Defensive Player of the Year award. That's exactly why they have it. They don't have an Offensive Player of the Year award, and that is typically the MVP. I'm just saying, right, wrong, we can debate it all we want to, but that's how I think the league and the writers who vote on this stuff and the media types that vote on this stuff think about it. They don't think about defense necessarily first when you're talking about MVP. They think about offense, and that's why more offensive players. Well, there's only been three players in the league, in league history, that have won both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, because you've got a defensive award. You don't have an offensive award, and that typically goes to the MVP, right, wrong, or indifferent.
It's like the MVP in the NFL is a quarterback award, right? Right or wrong, it is what it is. And then you have an offensive player and a defensive player in the NFL. I am just, can't say that I'm surprised, but a little disappointed that SGA and Luka weren't even asked to respond to what Wemby had to say. Now, I would say with Oklahoma City losing as a reporter, time and place, but did he not talk at shoot-around the last couple of days? And even time or place or not, if he was available to the media, and he was, at some point, even if you're getting a non-answer, you still ask that question as a professional journalist.
I think the question has to be asked. And we talked about this the other day after Wemby's campaign speech. Why are the other guys not asked this? Why only Wemby? He's the only one that's asked these questions. And quite frankly, I've never heard a reporter, in all seriousness, say, give me three things that you it doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to ask that question to Wemby, then all the other MVP candidates need to get the same damn question.
Is it political, equal time? I mean, in some ways, though, and I'm with you, but I do think a big part of it is with Vic, you're going to get a thoughtful, real answer, not some cliche non-answer. Same reason why Draymond Green was asked last night. Draymond Green is going to give you something that is real, that has substance to it, and not a cliche. SGA, following a loss, is the one that really should have gotten the question, whether he answered it or not, because not only is he leading the MVP race, Victor Wembanyama called him out saying, my team is better than yours. We beat you 3 times. Really 4, but one of those didn't count because you guys weren't all there. But 3 times we beat your full squad. We kicked your ass, SGA. And he wasn't even asked to respond.
Nothing.
That is surprising to me.
Well, it is surprising. And as reporters, when you're asking those questions, as we've been told, we should be thrilled that Wemby made that speech because it gives us content. Well, there you go. You use that to get more content from SGA, from Luka, from the Joker, whomever else. And these questions not asked. Look, there's a rivalry brewing, it's obvious, between Oklahoma City and San Antonio. And it's a natural rivalry, and it's good. And right now the Spurs are on the top end of that just because of the way they've played all season long. And it's going to be fascinating if these two teams meet up in the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how it's played or how it all plays out. But, yeah, I mean, why would you not ask SGA? And just because they lost, look, they had a 12-game win streak snapped. It's not like they've lost 5 in a row. I mean, I think you can ask them that. And they were in Boston and lost on the road. So I think it's perfectly okay to ask that question. And I'm not sure why it wasn't asked. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I don't know. Hopefully it will be at some point. I mean, why wouldn't it be? My goodness. Craziness. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. We'll talk a little Cowboys football because there's some rumors out there. Even still, I'm seeing reports that trade possibilities for one of the best pass rushers in NFL history.
Stop it.
Could it be that player ends up with the Dallas Cowboys? Let's talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, about one of my new favorite places. Love this place, Novo Brewery. I tell you what, it is San Antonio's newest sports watching destination. It certainly should be in your rotation of places that you go because this place is completely different than a lot of places that you probably go to on a regular basis. Look, Novo Brewery is best way to describe an upscale sports watching destination. There's TVs all over the place. There's not a bad seat in the house. They've got domestic beer on tap, a huge selection, not to mention the 60 craft beers that they have as well. And if you've never tried kombucha, you need to try it. They've got that on draft too. Just it's delicious. Maybe, boy, I tell you, it is delicious. Watch yourself, that's for sure. And then you've got the menu, the food that is out there. It is fantastic. They've got a full menu. They've got everything from finger food to ribeye steaks. The burgers are fantastic. They've got all kinds of sandwiches that you can have. They've even got salads if you want that. And if you're watching your diet or whatever, they've got the poke bowls, the carne asada bowls, those that are high in protein and low in fat. They've got everything that you can imagine on the menu at Novo Brewery. It is attached to North Star Mall. And I say it like that because, well, you don't have to go through the mall to get to Novo Brewery. It's got its own entrance. And their hours are different. Look, Novo Brewery is open late, so you don't have to be reliant on the mall. They're not going to close when the mall does. They're going to close much later than that, and you can take your family out there. They've got a kids' play area. It is just a perfect spot to go and watch sports, have dinner, and have a few drinks. Novo Brewery. If you want to check them out, you can do that. Go to their website, novobrew.com. That is novobrew.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my run in PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Join NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse, the San Antonio Gunslingers, and Real Truck for a pregame tailgate party. Saturday, March 28th. Bring the family and meet the team ahead of their March 29th season opener with free food, games, and prizes. Plan your tailgating and seasonal adventures with Real Truck products like Undercover Ultraflex, Retracts, and other outdoor must-haves. Join NAW, the Gunslingers, and Real Truck for a free family event on Saturday, March 28th at Northwest Automotive Warehouse on Culebra Road. Online at nawtruckaccessories.com.
San Antonio, your professional indoor football team is here. The San Antonio Gunslingers, competing in the Indoor Football League, the major league of indoor football. It's fast-paced, high-scoring action right in the heart of the Alamo City. Tickets on sale now for our season opener, Sunday, March 29th at Freeman Coliseum. Bring the whole family for fun and thrills, or grab a group package for your corporate outing. Visit sagunslingers.com today for ticket schedules and all the info. Gunslingers Football, San Antonio's pro team, San Antonio's pride.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, OrthoNow has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. Or go to stevensroofing.net.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats, looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two. Now we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
It is Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. Thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He is Jason, and it is opening day of Major League Baseball.
The Astros are waiting to open. They're still scoreless against the Angels. Only one hit for the Astros through 5. Rangers, well, they're getting their ass kicked by Philadelphia 5-0. So if you're part of the contest with the morning guys,
you need a couple of dongs. I like dinger or dong.
I mean, at least one dinger.
Well, that's what they were calling.
AJ likes a couple of dongs, is what we heard.
Apparently, he likes dongs. Yeah,
double dongs.
Two dongs. He's a two-dong man.
Stop it.
Rangers are in trouble. What's their outlook this year?
honestly, the Rangers could be all right. They're going to, I say that, if they get their offense going, if guys like Josh Young from MacArthur can get his bat going, the Rangers could be okay this year. I mean, but I think the same thing could be said for the Houston Astros. Seattle is the best team in the division. It's their division to lose. The Astros, the rotation, the dude that came over from Japan, how is he as a major league player? We know what he did over there in Japan, but can he do that in the major leagues? And they've got some of the older guys that are going to have to hit. Yordan Alvarez, who spent all last year hurt. If he can be healthy this year and play more than 50-some-odd games and have his bat to what it was, I think they'll be okay. But they're probably both the Rangers and the Astros probably right now are looking at 80 to 90 wins. Will it be enough against Seattle?
No, most likely not. But there's always a wild card chase.
Well,
so.
and that's it with the Astros. As banged up and as bad as they were last year, they only missed the playoffs by a couple of games. And so, again, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, but it really Yordan Alvarez and his bat and the starting pitching. That's the big thing. For the Texas Rangers, they can't just be so sporadic offensively. Because it feels like they've got enough pitching, but is their offense going to be consistent enough?
Well, look, I mean, it's a long season, and health, you just mentioned it, health has a lot to do with that. So if you've got a team, if Seattle has some unfortunate stuff happen to them, then it opens up the door. But it's such a long season in Major League Baseball. You're going to have your ups, your downs, and that's just the way that it goes. I mean, I don't know anybody out there that's not picking the Dodgers to win it all again. And so I don't know if anybody else is kind of just going through the motions at this point in time, according to the so-called experts. But we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting a lot out of St. Louis. They're kind of in a rebuild mode, which is fine.
Well, and again, I mean, when you it sucks when on opening day you've been eliminated from postseason contention.
Hey,
right?
They're tied right now with Tampa Bay, so it's 1-1.
But you know damn well they're eliminated from postseason contention. And if somehow they make a run, then this becomes a really fun season. It's when you're if everything goes your way, it could be okay. And I think that's what you're dealing with the Houston Astros and to a degree with the Texas Rangers. And they've got to get the offense. Josh Young struggled a lot last year. He's got to be able to get going this year. But what's worse? I know we said we were going to talk Cowboy football, but seriously, what's worse? What's going on in Major League Baseball where everybody and their mother knows that the Dodgers have bought themselves another World Series? And at best, you are playing for second. At best. The Dodgers are going to win it again, because they spend more money than anybody else and they could go buy whatever they want. It almost doesn't even seem fair and it doesn't seem right. Or the tanking crap that we're dealing with in the NBA where teams are trying to lose so they can hopefully pick the right draft guys and they turn out to be what you hope they are and you can turn it around and be competitive. I mean, honestly, I don't know what's worse. Like last night, we had an awful game to watch. Spurs won.
Terrible.
Because Memphis doesn't try. And the Spurs have a bunch of those coming up, and we all hate tanking. And granted, in San Antonio, we benefited from tanking. But the system does work. Oklahoma City and San Antonio are prime examples that if you tank properly, you can be a championship caliber team in about 5 years.
Well, if you tank properly, now go back to the Spurs tank for Wemby. The players played hard. They were young players, and they played hard. You look at what happened last night in Memphis, and when teams are shutting down your star players, Ja Morant, Giannis fighting the Milwaukee Bucks not to shut him down for the season. And, I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about tanking. Look, it's one thing when you've got because a lot of those players that the Spurs tanked with are still on the team now.
Mm-hmm.
Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. I mean, they're still there. So it wasn't like, and now all of a sudden these guys are good. You get Wemby. But the Spurs didn't tank for Dylan Harper. They didn't tank for him. They didn't tank for Steph Castle. But they were fortunate enough that the ping pong balls were such. So you can get good players without tanking. And you heard Adam Silver earlier, if you were with us, that this is a deep draft. So you don't have to tank. You don't need that number one pick necessarily. You can find damn good talent with the fourth pick, as the Spurs did with Steph Castle. I just think there's got to be something that has to be done in the NBA, because I think the product overall is suffering, and if it's not suffering now, it's going to. Because watching that game last night, I would have stayed away. I don't care who's playing against Memphis. You buy a ticket to that game, you're not going to win. You don't have a chance to win.
No, that's just a night out. A night out. I mean, the idea, and you look at what the Spurs did, and we go through a little bit of history. Tim Duncan retires. LaMarcus Aldridge comes in. He chose us, right?
Yep.
And I will always respect him for choosing us, because at the time we didn't have a lot of big-name free agents that would come here. And part of that is he had the big three. There wasn't room for him. But he chose us. And so between him and Kawhi, there was kind of that bridge. And then number two threw the grenade. And for a while with the LaMarcus and the DeMar DeRozans, the Spurs tried to stay afloat and competitive. But they were a middle-of-the-road team. You knew they weren't going to win a championship, but they were going to be good. They were going to be a playoff team, and they were going to get bounced. And then finally they pulled the plug, and they tanked. But they did it when things weren't so obvious. It was, why did you put that dude in a late game? And all of a sudden, a 3 or 4 point game and you lose by 12. How'd that happen? Because of who was in the game at the end. It was tanking, without it being so obvious. Now it's obvious. But what is worse in your mind? Trying to keep things afloat, knowing you're good, but not great, you're not going to win? It's like being, 8-8 in football. Ask the Dallas Cowboys. You're just good enough not to get great again. You have to bottom out to be able to get a high draft pick that can turn your franchise around. And in basketball, you can get one player and completely turn your fortunes.
Or you could crap out on that one player, as we've seen many do.
Sure.
With number one picks. Look, Wemby was and even Cooper Flagg last year, pretty much no miss guys. I mean, you knew that going in. But there's a lot of other number one picks that haven't worked out. So just because you tank.
Or number two picks, Scoot.
Exactly. So just because you tank and you get the number one pick, it doesn't mean that everything's going to be, unicorns and rainbows.
No, there's no guarantees, but you have a better opportunity. And do you blame the player or do you blame the organization? Zion. With what's going on in New Orleans, there are no guarantees, but would you rather kind of have that middle of the road? We're pretty good, but we're not great. We know we're not going to win a title, but it's going to be fun. We're going to win more games than we lose, and we're going to make the playoffs, and we'll be out before, May is over. Do you want that? Or completely bottom out, try to win the lottery, and get that generational player and have that player live up to expectations? And again, it's not a guarantee that draft pick is going to turn your franchise around, but it gives you a better opportunity to have a championship level team than always being a middle of the road kind of team.
Well, I mean, look, I'll use Utah as an example. Got a great player on their roster, Lauri Markkanen. Build around that guy. Why do you have to tank? For what? I mean, you can build around that guy, and if you're not making the playoffs, you're still in the lottery. It doesn't mean that just because you've got, 5 less balls than the worst team in the league, you're not going to win the lottery. Ask the Spurs. I mean, just last year, getting the number 2 pick, They didn't have as many balls as everybody else in the hunt.
No, and that's why I think they need to change it to where everybody has an even number.
I totally agree with that.
Of winning it instead of the 86 math degrees that you get this or that, and all you got to do is just not make the playoffs, and you got just as good of a chance as the team with 9 wins. And again, they were playing a team last night in the Memphis Grizzlies that just a couple of years ago looked like they were going to be the next. That a couple of years ago, Ja Morant and that Memphis team was one of the most exciting teams to watch in the NBA.
Very true.
And they looked like they were finally going to break through and win titles, and now look at them.
Well, Ja Morant has kind of fizzled out. I mean, with some off the court stuff and all of that. And Pledge points out the Mavericks just missed the playoffs last year. But guess what? They got the number 1 pick.
And Spurs had the number 2 pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this tanking stuff is not a guarantee. You know, the Spurs got lucky with Wemby. They got lucky.
Yep.
There was no guarantee the balls were going to fall right where they get Wembanyama. He could have been playing somewhere else. But they were lucky. So you've still got to get lucky. You can tank all day long. You still got to be lucky as hell that those ping pong balls fall your way. And then once they do and you draft who you draft, that player has got to turn into the player you think he's going to be. I don't know. It's a deep draft according to Adam Silver this year, but I don't know that there's any Cooper Flaggs or Victor Wembanyama's in this draft. Certainly you don't hear the talk about them. There's some good players, don't get me wrong, and we're watching them in the NCAA tournament. But there's no Wemby. There's no Cooper Flagg in this group. So I'm not sure that whoever gets the number 1 pick in this draft, that player's going to come in and turn you around. And let's look at Spurs history. This is Wemby's 3rd year. For the first 2, they didn't make the playoffs with Victor Wembanyama. So, I mean, it's still a process. But I guess what is irritating about the process is the fact that these teams are making it obvious now. It's just flat out obvious. There's no hiding it. It's just, hey, we suck. We're going to tank, and that's just it. Do something about it.
It's too obvious, and there's too many of them doing it, and it's hurting the product of the NBA.
Without a doubt.
Again, it is a proven formula. When you look at the Spurs in Oklahoma City as prime examples, that, this sucks, and it's going to suck for a couple of years, but if things break our way, we can have a championship caliber team. Oklahoma City's already won a title, and the Spurs have a chance to win one this year, and it feels like there's a bunch of titles in the future, again, if everything breaks their way. So if you're going, well, why are we doing this? Those the fan bases in Memphis are looking at Oklahoma City and San Antonio saying that could be us. We could be next. And that is why teams continue to do this, because you have seen teams successfully tank and turn their fortunes around. Sucks, but it's true.
Well, it has happened, yes. And the Spurs have been fortunate in that respect. There's no question about it. But it's just tanking has got to go. It just has to, because it to me, it just goes against everything that sports is meant to be. You play to win. Every time you step on the court, the field, whatever else it is, you play to win. And when you're tanking, you're not doing that. You're playing to lose and lose as many as you can. And to me, that just goes against everything that there is in sports. All right, we got to take a break. But you know what? Before we do,
what?
We got tickets to give away.
We do.
To the Valero Texas Open, the Saturday round, which is the 3rd round of that particular tournament, which is always a good day to go. It's moving day. Moving day. That's what it is on the PGA Tour. So
day before Easter as well.
Yeah, day before Easter. So keep that in mind. It is April 4th. If you don't win tickets today, you can always get them online at ValeroTexasOpen.com. Caller number what?
Let's go caller number 7 in honor of Rashawn Gary's new number with the Dallas Cowboys.
Caller number 7, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Caller number 7, you get some tickets to go see the best golfers in the world at the Valero Texas Open on April the 4th. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 281 with the Blitz.
you the largest gun shows, and this weekend it's in Hondo, Texas at the Medina County Fair Hall. Open this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 and 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Medina County Fair Hall this Saturday and Sunday. 733 FM 462 North.
I'm worth more.
Am I worth more? Yeah.
I'm worth a whole lot more.
You know what? You're right. At GiveMeTheVIN.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at Give Me the VIN, because good cars are worth more, and so are you. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer. And remember, if we don't beat a deal from Carvana or CarMax, we'll pay you $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
America's #1 destination for lifted trucks, custom builds, and off-road ready vehicles is here. Lifted Trucks San Antonio is on the corner of I-35 and Judson. Shop over 1,000 lifted trucks online at liftedtrucks.com or visit one of our Texas locations today.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. For the past 32 years, I've represented San Antonians injured in auto accidents. I'm a second-generation attorney here in town. My father, Bob Thompson, has practiced law here in San Antonio for more than 50 years, and I learned how to practice law from him. I learned what it means to be asked to represent a client and the tremendous honor and obligation that comes with being someone's attorney. And here's what that means for you. If you call my office, I will be the one you speak to. I will be your attorney, not a staff member or a junior lawyer. 2, I have one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. 3, relationships. A good one is built on communication, honesty, and time. I like talking to my clients. They're the only reason I go to work every day, and each is very special and very much appreciated. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, please call me. My name's Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or you can go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com. That's NOVOBrew.com.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NCAA tournament continues tonight. It is the Sweet 16 portion. You can catch it all on your home for the NCAA tournament. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. At 6 o'clock, 11th-seeded Texas will take on 2nd-seeded Purdue. At 6:30, it's 4th-seeded Nebraska and 9th-seeded Iowa. That's followed by number 1-seed Arizona and 4th-seeded Arkansas at 8:45. Then 2-3 matchup, Houston and Illinois.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA
champions,
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. However you're doing it, whatever you're doing, thanks for stopping by here. I know you're happy if you're getting off work at 5 o'clock, because guess what? It is 5:03, 39, 40, 41. You're off, and Thursday's over. Friday is here by all intents and purposes, so congratulations. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
Happy opening day, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we have a major story alert. The Tampa Bay Rays have opened a can of whoop ass on Reinagle's Redbirds. It's now 7-1.
Jeez.
The Rays have 14 hits.
It's going to be a long year. It really is.
5:04. Would you like to say they are officially eliminated?
No, not yet. Not yet. You know, it was. I should just be happy that through, 6 innings, they kept it 1-1. Actually had the lead for a while.
Astros and Angels are still scoreless. The Astros only have 1 hit on the afternoon. The Texas Rangers, they're getting pounded by the Phillies. It's 5-0 there in Philadelphia.
Not a good day for any of our teams today, huh?
Not yet. Well,
not yet anyway.
And I'm in a 13-run kind of pool thing, and my team is the Padres. They're getting beat 8-1.
So they're not going to get 13.
I mean, it's only the 7th inning.
Oh, those bats better wake up.
Hey, as long as nobody scores 13 today, the pot grows. So every day the pot grows, and then when somebody scores 13, if that's your team, then you win the pot for however long it goes.
Wow.
It's kind of fun. Except for the random draw. Pledge, whoever's asking that question, hang on, I'll get you all the numbers in a commercial break if they want to wait. Somebody's asking if there's a point of contact we have for a large group in Cabanas at Circa Las Vegas.
I would assume there is.
Yeah, I've got a guy.
Yeah, you got a guy.
Got a couple of them, actually.
Well, that's good.
I know. So 1 year ago today, according to Facebook Memories, we were on the plane out to Circa.
Wow.
Yep. The bummer. We'll go there in August, though. It's a great place. I'll be there before August.
I noticed you did some editing to a picture of yours.
Yeah, my new iPhone 17 can do that. I was testing it.
You were testing it?
I was testing one of those photo features. It worked great, too, didn't it?
You know, interesting that you tested it on that particular photo.
Well, because it came up on the show yesterday.
It sure did. It sure did. Yes, it did.
What?
Give me a cigarette. Hell was that? I have no idea. Give me a cigarette.
What?
It's just that quick, honestly.
Poor Maggie.
I know, it's just that quick. That's the way that it goes. So in case you don't know what we're talking about, I
have no idea what we're talking about.
You were not with us yesterday. A memory popped up from Circa and our good friend Sydney.
Oh, yeah. That.
And Minix's wife was in the background.
Giving us the look.
And so he just zapped her. She's no
longer
there.
in that photo. It's a great feature that they have now on the new iPhones.
So that's
Jasmine's out of that photo. Everybody's out of that photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, not bad. Where you can just take out whoever you want.
I was wondering, would it work on an older photo like that, or does it have to be one that was taken with that particular phone? And nope. And you couldn't tell the difference. Technology is amazing.
Well, I've never noticed anybody else in their picture.
You point out my wife staring at us every time.
Because it's your wife and not mine.
True. I never realized while I was doing that just how pathetic you looked in that photo with your hair.
What do you mean pathetic?
Your hair everywhere. You're like,
I look great.
It is my favorite look for Joe Reinagle.
Yes, I look great in that photo.
Blah, blah,
I mean, forget those fancy new headshots corporate made us take, right? Those came out pretty good, but you should zoom in on that and make that your profile picture.
Well, yeah, maybe I will. It just goes to show you that, underneath the coif here, and as good as it looks, it is real, and it flies in the wind sometimes. It was very windy that day, by the way.
We were inside.
No, we weren't.
We were inside a cabana.
A cabana, but the wind still got in.
Yeah.
It did. It was blowing hard.
What was?
The wind.
And?
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
The wind was blowing hard. Now,
well, why are you clapping?
Did you take that picture? Look, you're a creeper.
I didn't take that.
She doesn't even know that you're taking a picture of her hiney.
Well, first off, you can see I am right there not taking a photo. You're the one giving her a round of applause for her assets. I did not take. That is James Pledger pulling a screen grab is what they call that.
Who the hell took that picture?
Nobody took that picture. It's called a screen grab.
Oh, from our cameras. I got
yes.
you. Oh, okay.
He just pulled it off the screen, especially that picture there, because Pledge is an ass man. And he liked Sydney walking away as opposed to her walking up, although, quite frankly, every angle was perfect on her.
You can't share that with the audience, Pledge? Well, that's too bad.
Well, there's some on there that he just can't share.
Well, sure he can.
Not all of them.
Really?
But I don't know why he can't share those.
I'm not sure either.
Actually, I am.
We'll be back.
Where? Are we taking a break? You need a cigarette already?
No, I said we'll be back.
You three photos, and all of a sudden you need a smoke.
No, we'll be back.
Like
Dinger. We'll be or Dong. We'll be back at Circa in August.
Oh, good Lord! My God.
We will be back. That's going to be fun in August, which is perfect, right in the middle of the summertime. Perfect for the outdoor activities at Circa, Las Vegas.
Yes.
Stadium swim. Give me a cigarette. Jeez. What the hell were we talking about?
This drought that people say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's talk to John McClain.
Yeah, I think we should. We'll eject. Quick.
Somebody needs a cigarette.
The General John McClain joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on, getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you know you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Join NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse, the San Antonio Gunslingers, and Real Truck for a pregame tailgate party. Saturday, March 28th. Bring the family and meet the team ahead of their March 29th season opener with free food, games, and prizes. Plan your tailgating and seasonal adventures with Real Truck products like Undercover Ultraflex, Retracts, and other outdoor must-haves. Join NAW, the Gunslingers, and Real Truck for a free family event on Saturday, March 28th at Northwest Automotive Warehouse on Culebra Road. Online at NAWTruckAccessories.com.
Your professional indoor football team, the San Antonio Gunslingers, kick off Sunday, March 29th at Freeman Coliseum. Tickets on sale now. Season, group, individual. Bring your family, friends, or your crew. Get yours at sagunslingers.com. Guns up.
March is Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new heavy duty for 3.9% financing and no payments for 90 days. Or drive the 2026 Equinox LT with 3.9% financing. All North Park vehicles get a 1-year wash tub pass and 2 years complimentary oil changes. Open till 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays in March. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Monday just got better. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is hosting the Spring Golf Classic After Party at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petrenko. Party kicks off at 2 p.m. with the Blitz live on site. Big love to our tournament sponsor, Flight by Yingling, and props to our co-sponsors, Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunkla, Jim B, and Sierra Auto Group, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos for making it happen. The Sports Star Golf Classic After Party, Monday at 2, Hangar Bar on Petrenko. The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back here on this Thursday afternoon, this is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A lot of football to talk about, even though we're in the offseason, but that doesn't seem to matter with the NFL. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
And I would imagine while we generally talk football with the General John McClain, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, He's probably a midseason foreman bitching about the Astros, who now trail 1-0.
You mean the piece of bleep hitting Astros who led baseball in striking out in spring training, whose collective average was only 1.97, who can't hit the ball worth a damn other Joey Loperfido, who has 2 singles. Hunter Brown, 102 pitches, couldn't get out of the 5th inning, even though he didn't give up a run. And the problems that they've experienced hitting, and they've had great pitching in spring training, they picked up right where they left off. It's amazing. I mean, supposedly good hitters have come up with guys on base and don't do jack squat. Is that midseason?
Well, pretty much.
You're getting there.
Yeah, it's only one game, isn't it, John? We're not in July yet.
Well, if it was not the continuation, Joe, of a ugly, frustrating, nasty trend, and you could say, oh, well, they hit so well in spring training, and we're not supposed to pay attention to what they do in spring training, but their pitchers were tremendous, and the hitters were awful, and right now they're doing the exact same thing. Maybe they'll rally and win this game, but right now I'm looking forward to the University of Houston tonight, maybe beating Illinois, the highest-scoring team in the country, and making today a better day.
Well, what do you think about the Cougars' chances? Because you're right, John. The Illinois team tonight is one you got to be worried about.
I think if they can beat Illinois and its team of Europeans, I'd hate to have to pronounce their names, but I'd really hate to have to spell them a lot. And if they can beat them, I think they will be in the Final Four for the second year in a row. I was hoping that they would play Florida because Florida beat them by 2 in the national championship game last year. And if Florida hadn't stunk it up and choked and not gotten to the Sweet 16, we could have had those 2 teams playing a revenge game here at the Toyota Center. But too bad for Florida. The Cougars right now are playing the way they should have played all season, showing the kind of mental and physical toughness they showed all along, including in San Antonio, where they lost that very, very difficult game.
Yeah, I've got Houston winning the whole thing. They better take care of business
you're right.
tonight. Well, me too.
I hope you're right.
You don't sound overly confident.
Well, no, Arizona's really good. Michigan's really good. I can't say, Duke's really good. I can't say that I think Houston is better than them. And the Cougars, they've lost 6 games, 2 of them, to Arizona. And if they could play again, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times. But they've got 3 starters who have played in the last 2 tournaments. They are seasoned, and 2 freshmen, one of whom you guys know very well, Kingston Flemings, who should be a top 10 pick. And so I'm fired up about it. I can't wait. Took a nap just so I could stay up.
I'm so proud of you. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz. You know everybody in Houston. I know you're really good friends with a lot of rich people there, including Mattress Mac. Not sure how close you are with Tillman Fertitta, but what kind of chuckle did you get out of Kelvin Sampson saying yesterday that they're poor?
Well, he has said that, and then he apologized for it because they get money. You don't get a Flemings and a Cenac. They got 3 5-star recruits, 2 of whom are starters, and you don't get those guys by being poor and not getting the kind of players they get. So he's not getting any sympathy from anybody.
John, though, I think it's every college coach, whether that's football or basketball now, is just in need of more money. We heard the UCLA basketball coach the other day saying he needed $5 million more, and I think that's just a burden, if you will, on some of these coaches these days.
Well, unless your names are Joey McGuire and Grant McCaslin at Texas Tech, and another one, when Rick Pitino took the job at St. John's, I can't remember the guy's name. He's a multi-billionaire. And he told Pitino, whatever you need, I will provide it. Not having to get a football team helps. I sure wish Baylor had alums with that kind of cash, but Texas Tech right now, I just read a deep dive on the college football season coming up, and they have Tech going. The guy that wrote it is a Baylor grad who writes about college for CBS, and he had Tech going 12-0. And because they lost all kind of players, but they've spent a lot of money again to get good players. And now there's a lot of pressure on McGuire. And I think Tech would still be in it if they hadn't lost their best player, Toppin, about 10 or 12 games ago. So, but I love college basketball. I was in Vegas last week, watched every game in the first 2 rounds, the only time I ever bet on any sport. And I was doing really well until Florida stunk it up and killed me on a teaser. And so I hate the Gators.
Very true. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight. I'm a big fan of the NCAA tournament, and we'll see. I have Michigan winning the whole thing, John. So sorry.
They're good. The Wolverines are great.
Sorry to you Cougars. Hey, I want to ask you about the Texans because Emmitt Smith's son is visiting the Cowboys first, and then he's coming to the Texans. The Texans, though, really seem to have a lot of love for this guy, at least in the reports I've been reading.
They might. They keep it close to the vest. People have 30 visits where you can bring players in for a day. You get to know them. They can't work out. And I would imagine Emmitt's kid is a very, very impressive interview. A lot of time it's a burden when you have a dad like that. But when it comes to like street cred, that is a mark in your favor. And one of the things that I keep saying here, I keep hearing and reading people saying the Texans, because of moves that Nick Caserio has made in the offensive line, do not have to take an offensive lineman. And I'm thinking, my God, that's what we thought last year when they had Cam Robinson at left tackle and Laken Tomlinson at left guard, and those guys were so bad, they cut them. They didn't just bench them. They traded Robinson right away, and they cut Tomlinson, who's out of football. So how do we know Braden Smith at right tackle, who's had injury issues with the Colts and will turn 30, and Wyatt Teller, who's about to turn, I think, 32 or 33 from Cleveland at left guard, and the Browns didn't try to re-sign him. And I tell them here, and they don't like it, there's a reason those guys are available. If their teams wanted to keep them, they could make it work. So I said, we're bragging about Laken Tomlinson and Cam Robinson and Juice Scruggs and Blake Fisher and Ken Green and Kenyon Green and all those guys, and they bombed out. So until we see offensive linemen that they sign, that's fine, get 1 year, but man, with 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, people think I'm nuts. I still think they need an interior lineman, preferably a center, or a guard who can play center, and they still need an offensive tackle because they've got old guys. 3 of their top guys are going to be 30 or more and have had injury issues, and that's not good.
It's not. And, John, when you think about the draft and, kind of like for me with the Cowboys, I want them to make a trade before the draft to solve their linebacker issue. And, the dude in Miami that looks like he would be a perfect fit. Do you think the Texans will make trades before or after the draft to kind of fill in some of those holes you just mentioned?
No, I think that Nick Caserio, I saw a chart. He made more trades than any general manager since he got here in January of 21. And there's no doubt he's going to make more trades. He could trade out of the first round, giving them 3 number 2 picks. I'm sure he likes to get future picks, and next year's draft is supposed to be fantastic, not just for quarterbacks. So I can see him trying to get picks there. The Texans' defense should be great. They don't need any starters on defense. A lot of people having them take a defensive tackle, but they have 2 starters. And if they get a young guy, say in the first or second round, maybe even the third, He could start or he could be part of the rotation. Their problems are on offense. They couldn't run the ball, and maybe they're getting offensive linemen who run block, but oops, what if they can't pass protect? Then they're back in the same thing. So they have botched the offensive line here so much for so long, ever since Caserio got here. He's done a great job everywhere but the line, includes the coaches. So I think that they will make at least 2 or 3 trades, maybe right before the draft like last year when they traded out of the first round, and or on draft day. There's no doubt Nick Caserio is going to make more trades.
You know, John, when I look at that Houston Texans team, and you just said it, I mean, the defense is solid. They even added another good player to that defense that was already really good. Other than the offensive line on the offense, is there anything else that needs attention?
They need a backup tight end who can catch. Schultz right now, he was hurt 2 years ago. He played. Didn't play as well as he did his first year. Last year he was healthy. He played very well. If he gets hurt, they got nothing behind it but blockers. They got to have a backup tight end who can catch the football. And because Tank Dell is coming off such a serious knee injury, and they let Christian Kirk go, didn't try to bring him back, and he went to San Francisco, they may draft another receiver. You know, you can never have enough corners. And defensive tackle is an area in which they have let 3 of them go. You know, if you let people go and you don't try to resign them, it tells you what you think about them. And they re-signed the starter, Sheldon Rankins, and they do a great job coaching the defensive linemen. Rod Wright does a tremendous job, especially the interior guys. And I can coach the outside guys, Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter. But right now, I think offensive line, 1 defensive tackle, a backup tight end. I would also, somewhere in the middle round, draft another running back, because if David Montgomery, he's going to be 30, gets hurt, they're back like they were last year with Woody Marks and not having a power back who can get an end zone inside 5-yard line. So they do still have some needs. But as we know, the biggest need is for C.J. Stroud to bounce back from the god-awful playoffs he had.
That's an understatement. John, on a broad NFL level, Field Yates was reporting today about the reworking a bit of Myles Garrett's contract, which now makes it very tradable. Now, Schefter said he talked to the Browns and he's 100% not getting traded. But the way they redid that deal, do you think Myles Garrett could and will be traded out of Cleveland?
I think they wouldn't trade him unless he wanted to be traded. I don't think they get 2 number 1 picks for him because of his age and his wear and tear. And just like, and I'll tell you something else that kills me. I keep seeing these mock drafts that have the best running back, Jeremiah Love, dropping down. Today I saw one, he dropped all the way to the Cowboys. How stupid would you be to pass up a player like Jeremiah Love, the best runner and a great receiver? And if you're Tennessee, I do 2 shows a week in Tennessee, and I say, okay, you draft an edge rusher just because Robert Saleh is a defensive coach when he's already signed and traded for 2 ends. Say David Bailey. How many games is David Bailey going to help you win? How many games does Myles Garrett help the Browns win? How many games Trey Hendrickson helped the Bengals win? How many games did Max Crosby help the Raiders win? If you got Cam Ward, you better get a great running back / receiver who can take pressure off him. There's no way he's fallen into the laps of Kansas City, New Orleans, Dallas. Just no way.
Well, you know, it's interesting, John, because Pro Football Focus had a mock draft that had the Cowboys trading up to number 3 to grab Jeremiah Love. With all the defensive issues they have, I think there'd be a riot in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't think they do that. It'd be very, very expensive. And they re-signed Williams, who's coming off a really nice season, bounce-back season for him. And the way they've added to their defense, they still need an edge rusher, and they still need a cornerback. and they're going to have a chance to get both. The key is, do they draft the right guy? And then, of course, do they coach them up? Cowboys don't need offensive players. Their offense was great last year. They need defensive players. Yep. Y'all know it. Your listeners know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Hopefully, Jerry knows it.
Yeah,
that's the key right there.
We'll find out. John, enjoy the rest. You got a hell of a day, man. Hopefully the Astros can find some runs, and then the Cougars take care of business later tonight. Always appreciate it, John. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thank you very much as always.
Make sure you follow John on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John McClain, all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Hey, Pledge, give me that horn, will you?
No. General quarters. All hands, man your battle station.
Cardinals just scored 8 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They lead Tampa now 9-7. For all you doubters of the greatest baseball team to ever play the game.
So the 7th inning, right?
It is the 7th.
Plenty of time for them to blow that?
Well, there is time,
okay,
but
go.
The fact that they scored 8 runs, I didn't know if they'd do that in 3 games.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. I'm very happy about it.
Astros still looking for their first.
See
but
that?
they are up. Houston's up to 3 hits.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well.
There you go. Oh, my God. That horn is quite alarming. If you're not ready for that thing,
every
you
guy
can poop your pants.
That served in the United States Navy hearing that is thinking general quarters, and they know what that means.
Exactly right.
Yikes.
Oh, my
roll
goodness.
you out of bed in a hurry.
Always like talking to the General John McClain. Appreciate him. We got a little more to do in the time that we have left, so we'll get to it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. 4 Sweet 16 games down, 4 to come, and a full weekend ahead of us, Rob.
The NBA is going to get busy as well, and the Spurs going to make up ground. We'll talk about that. And, oh, by the way, lots of baseball. How'd the Rangers and Astros do? Hey, it's Friday. Get here early. The party, it starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SPEED to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
My car smells fresh, so fresh, always so fresh every day. My car smells fresh, so fresh, like I cleaned it yesterday. Got that Febreze car on the vents, living life with that just clean freshness. Febreze car, if you know, up to 40 days a scent on low. My car smells fresh, so fresh, always so fresh every day. My car smells fresh, so fresh, like I cleaned it yesterday. That's right, breathe happy Febreze, la 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 la.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
America's #1 destination for lifted trucks, custom builds, and off-road ready vehicles is here. Lifted Trucks. San Antonio is on the corner of I-35 and Judson. Shop over 1,000 lifted trucks online at liftedtrucks.com or visit one of our Texas locations today.
People. They're good. Good for laughs, For snorts, for cries, and goodbyes. People are good for doing nothing or getting up to something. People are good for squad goals and squad. People are good for you. Jim Beam, best enjoyed together.
Jim Beam, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 2026, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Well, I tell you what, we just, you just pointed this out. The San Antonio Missions have released renderings of their new ballpark, and it looks fantastic.
I screenshotted what they sent and tweeted it because the Missions have not yet tweeted it. So I did. So if you want to see him, at Jason Minix, Joe will do the same, at Joe Reinigle 210, at SA Sports Star. So what they say in their press release is they reveal the renderings of the new downtown ballpark. And honestly, it's an official press release, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't a joke because on Wednesday, April 1st, that's why I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
The city's Historic Design and Review Commission, the HDRC, will take up the development plan for this multi-use facility. But my goodness, it looks incredible. The way they do the renderings, and obviously, you got your architects and whatnot that put this stuff together. They kind of give you the diagram of what it looks like downtown, then what it will look like during the day. More importantly, what it's going to look like at night with downtown.
Yeah.
And the field looks great. The outfield with the berm where you can have your seats, almost like what you have at Wolf. But stadium looks fantastic. I really hope that there's concerts there. I know they say right now not, but when I read multi-use, have some concerts there downtown. It looks spectacular.
It really does.
And then imagine the Wemby Center on the other side of downtown.
Well, exactly. But back to the mission, it's only going to hold 4,500 people?
Yep.
Something like that.
Looks like plenty of suites, though.
Well, it does. And then I do like the outside and the outfield where you can go, very similar to what you can do at the Wolf, and sit out there in the grass and catch some home run balls out there.
And it looks like, with some of the roads and whatnot, I'm guessing this is where the soap factory is now, but that won't be. That little park area and like a little mini baseball field where I imagine kids are playing. What a great space, and if you're trying to figure out mentally what we're talking about, not far from where that new Frost building is, I'm already envisioning, I'll get off the air at 6. I can get there before first pitch. I might be able to stop at Pinkerton's for dinner on my way over to this new ballpark because Pinkerton's, it's that part of downtown, and of course, the other side of downtown is where you're going to have the new Spurs arena. But this looks spectacular. Well done by the Missions ownership group and their architects in putting this together and their vision of what a downtown ballpark is going to be. This is spectacular.
And no question, just think about that. I mean, as I look at this, where the seats are, the main seats for the fans, you are going to be the ballpark is pointed toward downtown. You're going to be looking at the downtown skyline. along with watching the baseball game. It's just going to be a beautiful sight. I can only imagine. Can't wait for that thing to be done and go see a Missions game out there at the brand new ballpark. This is fantastic. I agree with you.
Yeah,
well done.
The only negative is you're not going to see all the C5s landing during the game.
Oh, well, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That, my friend, is a joke.
Yes, this is just beautiful. I'm impressed. I really am. I'm impressed. That's nice.
Well, and you know, it's what I love about this is, you know, Spurs were in Memphis last night. And if you've been to Memphis, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, just their arena is right downtown. You think about downtown Memphis, you've got the river, and you got like AutoZone and some of their corporate deals, and you've got the I don't think it's still called FedEx Forum, is it? Whatever it is, whatever they call their arena. Might still be FedEx Forum.
It's got to be FedEx Forum. Right? That's all the money in Memphis.
Them and AutoZone.
Well, yeah.
Because AutoZone has the ballpark. So if you're walking downtown, you know, basically you go out of the basketball arena, and you got Beale Streets right there.
Yep.
And then a couple of hotels, and then you've got their baseball stadium. Ironically, the Redbirds.
Yeah.
Play
their
right
AAA
there.
team right there.
And it's spectacular.
Yeah.
And you go to other cities where they have everything kind of walkable in an area, and you're going to have that now in downtown San Antonio with the Missions and the Wemby Center and just everything else that is going to come along with the entertainment district part of all of this. I'm super stoked for what the San Antonio Missions are doing, what they have been doing, but you get even more excited when you see it. You know, it's one thing to talk about the vision. It's another to say, this is what we are building.
Yeah, because it's hard to envision that when you look at what's there right now. I mean, you try to put a picture in your mind of how this is going to look, and then when you see it in pictures like this, it's fantastic. I'm excited about it, and I'm happy for the Missions too. I really am. I'm happy for them. It's just a big part of this city, and I'm happy that they're going to get a new ballpark, and it's going to be beautiful. Downtown it's where it should be. It's where all this stuff should be, and now it's coming to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, in reading about this, the UTSA's campus expansion, Frost Tower. The residential development, just all of it. It doesn't tell me when it's supposed to complete, but I know it's sooner rather than later. Now, we're at the drawing phase, so a couple years away, but it's I'm pumped to see this.
Yeah, no doubt, and the renderings make it good. It's on your Twitter page.
Yeah. At Jason Minnix, Minnix.
Yeah, I'm still a little bitter at Twitter. Just a little bit.
You can still tweet.
I can, but I'm used to doing it the other way, and now I got to figure out how to do it.
Wait, hold on. Don't say that out loud.
Dude, I'm telling you, because look at this. I mean, it's just, I know how to do it. There's the what's happening up there. If you're just joining us, I got a notice just like, 2-3 hours ago?
Yeah, in the middle of the show, dude lost his mind, and
I've gotten no warning about this all week. Nothing. So I try to get on my the X Pro or Tweet Deck, whatever you want to call it. I guess both are appropriate. And I get this notice that says, you gotta upgrade. And I'm like, well, wait a second, upgrade. I want to upgrade. So, if it's time to pay again for the service that I had, I'll be happy to do that. But you can't do that. You got to upgrade.
Okay, upgrade. You like
Dude,
upgrades?
I spent $89 on this thing for the year.
Okay.
All right, to get my Tweet Deck and the little blue check mark.
Mm-hmm.
The upgrade now is $390 per year.
Whoa.
So $300 more per year to have, and I'm not doing it.
Just to have Tweet Deck.
I'm revolting, and I guess I'll lose my blue check mark, and I guess that's a shame.
It's still there.
Well, now it is. I guess they're giving me some time, but it says as of March 26th, you got to do this. So I'm assuming tomorrow it might not be there, Minnix.
Well, I don't give a damn about the blue check mark. I paid for it because I like the editability of it, because you can edit. I never did the tweet deck deal.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like looking at it all in one screen.
Mm-hmm. Well, Twitter's all on one screen.
Well,
you'll get used to the way us
yes.
poor folk do it.
Damn it.
Although you like upgrades. It's
Well,
kind of like you debating
yeah.
if you're going to upgrade your seat, and ultimately you always do.
Well, I do. Yeah.
You'll
typically.
do that. You know, a couple days without your tweet deck, and you're going to go nuts.
Just not fair.
All right, but you can still go retweet or post the photos like I did of
fair.
the new ballpark. I just hope that when this happens, that the first ever national anthem on opening day goes better than what happened today at the New York Mets home opener.
Nominated for his portrayal of George Washington in the hit Broadway musical Hamilton, Christopher Jackson.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, what so proudly we
Forgot a line.
hailed,
We didn't edit that.
were so gallantly sweet.
Sounds good.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, he sounds great.
He's got a great voice. Just kind of misplaced some of the words.
And it's one of the faster national anthems we've ever heard. So if you had the under, I
Well, he
wonder.
left out about 3 sentences.
Well,
so.
he got the gig. He's a Tony Award winner,
Well, that's
right?
great.
I mean, guy can sing, but
Sure.
he played George Washington in Hamilton, and he didn't mess up those songs that we know of.
Exactly. I don't know.
At least he didn't sound like Carl Lewis.
And no Doc Rivers around to help him out.
Uh-oh. And he kept going. He knows he fumbled.
He did.
He knows he fumbled. You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We get you ready for the weekend. We call it What's on Tap. It is brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their menu, their whole calendar. It's going to be a fun weekend. Tonight they've got Ronnie and the Redwoods on stage, Carolyn Wonderland on Friday night, the Slackers on Sunday, and Allie Venable on Wednesday.
Otherwise, tonight you've got Will Bannister at Green Hall. I wish I'd have known this earlier. Styx is at the Majestic Theater tonight. Who knew?
Well, I don't know. Call John at Awesome Tickets. You got time to get to the show.
How about a flock of seagulls at the Aztec Theater?
Wow.
How about that, huh? Moody Center, if you're going there, you're already on your way. And Jimmy, Jimmy is at the LOL Comedy Club.
Friday night, Aztec Theater has Snow the Product. McComb's Empire Theater has Justin Willman, Josh Weathers at Green Hall, Ian Munsick at Floor's Country Store. Ian Munsick is fantastic. You want to go watch some good country music, go watch Ian Munsick. He, by the way, and I know him, he wrote a couple of the songs that Cody Johnson has made really, really famous. A lot of times he's opening for Cody Johnson.
Nice.
I wish I'd have known Ian was coming into town.
There you go.
I might have to make a phone call and head out the floors tomorrow night. Majestic Theater has the Phil Collins story. Phil will not be there.
No.
ACL Live has the last dinner party. There's a home and garden show out at Freeman Coliseum, and there's some comedy over at LOL.
There
Say your
is.
name, make me laugh.
Saturday at the Frost Bank Center, Life Surge is going on out there. Powerful worship, dynamic speakers like David Robinson, Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty fame, and more. A man named Cash at the Charlene McCombs Empire Theater on Saturday. The Alamo Dome has Monster Jam. Grunge Fest is at the Aztec Theater on Saturday night. Out of Green Hall, you've got American Aquarium. Boeing Center at Techport, Michael McIntyre, Hello America. The Neighborhood World Tour at the Moody Center on Saturday night. Jim Jeffries, Son of a Carpenter at ACL Live. Hawthorne Heights at Redbox. And Statesboro Review at, is that Freiheit
Country Store.
Okay.
Great spot.
All right.
Frostbank on Sunday night. I'm surprised you're not going to see your guy Nate Bargatze.
I'm surprised I haven't been told we're going there.
No, not yet.
He's funny as hell.
Monster Jam happening down in the Dome. The San Antonio Gunslingers taking on the Tulsa Oilers indoor football Sunday, 3 o'clock. I'm going to that. You should go too. SanAntonioGunslingers.com.
Monday, Spurs play host to the Chicago Bulls inside the Frost Bank Center. If you don't want to go to that and you want to go to Green Hall, the Matthew Robinson Swingin' Blues Band is playing at Green Hall.
Joe, Journey is going to be at the Moody Center on Tuesday.
Is that right?
That's what it says right here on my
Well,
paper.
I hope that one lead singer's learned the words by now.
Oh, good Lord. What's on tap? Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, online at samsburgerjoint.com.
I'm looking forward to some NCAA basketball coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, Jason. The Texas Longhorns and the Purdue Boilermakers.
We got all the games tonight right here on 94.1.
We do, and it's going to be an exciting night. Can Texas' little Cinderella run continue? Can Houston survive Illinois? That's going to be a key thing. And how about Arkansas? Can they stay with Arizona?
It's going to be a fun night, although I got Houston winning the whole damn thing, so it's all about the Cougars tonight.
Well, the Cougars.
Well, that and my
you
wife
going to
is
Pix
flying
Bar
home.
or
Yeah,
what?
no, my wife's she's in the air right now.
She is.
Yes.
Be sure and wake up early and join the fellas on the morning huddle. AJ and Rob, they'll get you started at 6 o'clock in the mañana.
And tomorrow we're at NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse, in that big red building down on Calabra Road.
Come on out and see us. A lot of toys to look at and maybe play with. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Give me a cigarette.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio, your professional indoor football team is here. The San Antonio Gunslingers, competing in the Indoor Football League, the major league of indoor football. It's fast-paced, high-scoring action right in the heart of the Alamo City. Tickets on sale now for our season opener, Sunday, March 29th at Freeman Coliseum. Bring the whole family for fun and thrills, or grab a group package for your corporate outing. Visit sagunslingers.com today for tickets, schedules, and all the info. Gunslingers Football, San Antonio's pro team, San Antonio's pride.
Trying to keep up with today's fast-changing digital landscape? With more ways to consume content than ever before, it is getting harder to reach your customers. You need more than just a presence. You need the experts at Conrex Digital. We craft websites that convert. We curate engaging content on social and block channels. We generate quality leads through Google and Meta. We dominate your competition on streaming TV. Bold marketing, real results. Conrex Digital makes it happen. Visit conrexdigital.com. That's conrexdigital.com.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax-free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Score up to a $50 bonus bet daily during college hoops with BetMGM's free-to-play fast break game. Log into BetMGM, play as the point guard, and choose to pass or go for a dunk. If you score, you'll win either a $50 bonus bet or boost token. The ball is always in your court with BetMGM, where you can take advantage of special offers and earn rewards points on every bet. Make a fast break during college hoops by playing as the point guard for your daily shot at a $50